You work so hard. You show up every day. You do what's expected of you. But deep down, you know the truth. One paycheck shouldn't decide how your life turns out. But what if your evenings meant progress? What if your weekends built freedom? What if your laptop became more than just a screen? This isn't about quitting your job. It's about giving yourself options. While others crawl, you start building. Quietly, consistently, and on your own terms. No pressure, no guessing. Just a clear system you can run after work, before work, or whenever life gives you a turn. That's what Goldmine on hustlesafrica.com is for.
Tuesday.
Haikuzo makasi ni watafute uongozi pamoja wasitafute.
Kweli una maana gani? Una maana wewe ni binadamu ya mavi ya kuku.
Mashamba yetu harambe.
Nguruwe kujikanga na mafuta yake na Afrika itakwisha.
Padani agosho ngai no mwega na endesho de.
Wakati hiyo ilikuwa ukisema ngwe ndani ngwe.
Litangaza ya kwamba tuko na nafasi kama Wakenya tuwe na mjadala wa kupanga mambo ya maendeleo ya taifa letu la Kenya. Rais Mwai Kibaki alipanga mambo ya Vision 2030. 2030 imekaribia. Lazima tuwe na maono ya mbele. Ndio mipango yetu iambatane na maono ya siku zijazo. Na tuko na sababu ya kutosha kuwa na mjadala wakati huu wa vile Kenya itapangiwa ama itapangika kimaendeleo tukisonga mbele. Ile Vision 2030 tuko naye ilifanyika kabla ya sisi kuwa na katiba mpya. Sasa tuko na katiba mpya. Na hiyo katiba mpya inatupatia maelekezo ya mambo ya maendeleo ya taifa letu la Kenya. Tume operationalize chapter zote za katiba yetu ya Kenya. Tume operationalize mambo ya sheria ya political parties, sheria ya election, sheria ya vitu zingine mingi, sheria ya human rights. Sasa imefika wakati to operationalize chapter ya maendeleo ya taifa letu la Kenya. Na ndio sababu hiyo nimesema hiyo chapter ya maendeleo ya taifa letu la Kenya haiwezi kufanywa na siri, haiwezi kufanywa na watu wachache, haiwezi kufanywa na serikali peke yake. Wananchi wenyewe watakuja waseme vile maendeleo ya taifa letu la Kenya kulingana na vile katiba inavyosema itaendelea mbele. And I want to encourage all of us as leaders, as citizens, different sectors, different Kenyans. It is time as a nation that we sit together and agree on where Kenya must be in this generation.
All right, hello there, people of the internet. My name is Ruto, and this is Political Headache coming to you at 7:30 in the evening. We have had a very rough week, you know, the politics of the day has been very, very rough. We had Sifuna. I think Sifuna still falls this week on Citizen TV, correct? Sifuna was on TV at what date? Tuesday was it? Tuesday, and then Ruto akakuwa na kiherere yake. Akakuja shortly after, and I know somebody was telling me that by the way, somebody was telling me Ruto alikuja na kiherere yake. He was supposed to have allowed Sifuna to roast, because everybody was roasting Sifuna, saying that his what is it called, his interview was not very well put together and was not very nice. And they were saying that he should have just allowed Sifuna to, you know, ajikange na mafuta yake. But then the president came later on and talked about I don't know whether we were with you when we were talking about the government speech.
Yes.
Immediately after it had been, I think we had a little bit of a watch along here, and then we talked about the president. We have Aisha Jumwa, who is now, joining Linda Mwananchi. And I asked Joaquin Simiu the other day, and he was telling me that they would, even if Osama bin Laden were to rise from the dead and ask to join them as united opposition, then they will use Osama bin Laden to kick Ruto out of State House. So it's a lot of things that have gone over this week. We have I have Mr. Peter.
Yes.
Who is fresh from Ethiopia, where he has been, I don't know what he has been doing there, but I think they have been taken there by the government of Kenya. To do a few things, see what. And then we have Meruka, who has had a tough week. People of the internet were saying that Meruka does not know what he's talking about. Kijana, toe hapo kabisa, kwa sababu he's messing us around. Nyanduga is here too. So, by the way, I have some money from State House. I want to give you some money.
Wow.
They think it's real money.
I want to give like...
Pass 1 year.
People of the internet, do I show them?
Yeah?
Do I show them? Do I show them this money?
You know them?
No, do I show them?
Yeah. I don't know who is
on the front side.
I don't know who is. I met this gentleman today, by the way, in town for lunch. And he gave me this money. This is coming from Boniface Mwangi. And I was telling Boniface Mwangi that Boniface Mwangi, if you are an ordinary man, you'd be arrested for fraud and money laundering.
Yes. Of course, yeah.
So Boniface Mwangi has got pesa mfukoni, cash. Cash this in 2027. That's what he's saying. And I thought it was a very brilliant idea. I don't know whether people of the internet can see it. I think Nyandoga, your camera will see it better. I think Nyandoga's camera will see it better. No, where what to your internet? Nyandoga's camera will see it better. You just change it to Nyandoga camera. So you just change from there. You have to go there. Yes, that one.
Yeah, he has a very brilliant idea.
Yes, it's a very brilliant idea. What do you think about it?
Mr. Nyanduga, Jagero, we live in a country called Kenya where we have God of all possibilities. But Boniface Mwangi is skating in a melting ice.
Okay.
And because, you see, the way our political system is designed, people like Boniface Mwangi and other people with good ideas has very little to atone to our democratic right when it comes to voting and majorly being elected into a public office.
Okay.
He has been a good human rights activist, building even international connections concerning things to do with democracy, freedom, political pluralism, and the rest. But the country called Kenya, we live under mental slavery. You find a situation whereby people like Boniface Mwangi, with zero corruption scandals, with zero court cases on matters to do with corruption and any other misappropriation, will barely get a chance to be in a public office in this country.
Yeah.
Our politics is designed to an extent, whoever gets a chance to be in a public service are people who have been accused severally of money laundering, of corruption cases, of extrajudicial killings, and the rest. Think of a situation whereby President William Ruto is the President of the Republic of Kenya. This is a president who, during his time as the Cabinet Minister of Agriculture, was even suspended from the office because of corruption. Think of a situation whereby we have many other people, I won't even mention them in this conversation, but you know their stories. So the only thing I can say about Boniface Mwangi is that he has been so steadfast. He is a good man. He has been fighting for us and speaking truth to power. But in 2027, I believe he can make a good president. I wish Kenyans can change their mentality, their rhetoric, and their political language to hand him a chance, at least so that we can cash this. It's a good money, by the way. We can cash this in 2027, but I doubt, because Kenyans, with the kind of tribalism you have, the kind of a system.
But Boniface Mwangi is coming from a voter-rich tribe. So if we are talking about tribalism, then tribalism should actually favor him.
It's a different story because you see, our politics work with regional kingpins.
Yeah.
For example, today you can have a Luo leader who wants to be a president. But if you're not Babu Owino, the likes of James Orengo, or Oburu Odinga, even the people from Nyanza won't vote for you because at the end of the day, they won't see you as their tribal kingpin. Today, as I speak to you, Rigathi Gachagua has locked the mountain region. And it's only Gachagua who can hand you even an MCA position in Mount Kenya. Today, if you go to the eastern province, it's Kalonzo Musyoka. If you go to the good parts, of course, it's still Kalonzo Musyoka, past like Taita Taveta. So at the end of the day, even if Boniface Mwangi is coming from the voter-rich region, which is Mount Kenya, it still has a very little opportunity to be at the apex and to be at the apogee and periphery of power in this country.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Meruka, how are you doing? You have had a very bad week. What is it that you think that you said wrong that Kenyans did not appreciate you for? What is it?
Well, I want to say that I've actually not had a terrible week. I've had a very excellent week because I think this is one of the weeks that people have really made me viral. And that's a good thing because publicity is publicity. But again, also I want to
publicity
say...
towards what?
Whatever. Because at the end of the day, when they were sharing that clips, the people don't know who Miruka is. So they start to get interested. Who is this Miruka? What does he stand for?
Okay.
And so for me, that does not bother me. After all, if you've been a leader in this country before, in whichever sphere, such things are met every day. I mean, how many times has Ruto been abused countrywide and he still goes on with his life as usual? What about the politicians that we have? This is something that you need to get used to, become a hardcore. And I think probably I should say I was taken out of context because out of our 3-hour interview, it was a very heated discussion last week. I think it was 3.5 hours because I remember we left here at 10.
3 hours.
Yes, they only decided to pick a 1 minute 12 seconds clip.
What is the clip that they took and what were you saying in that clip?
In that particular clip, if you remember very well, I was discussing about the agenda that Sifuna has. Okay. And you kept interjecting together with my friend Joachim.
Okay.
Question after question. Just before I finish, another one comes. And you realize, when you're in this public debate, when you have a specific line of thought, when someone interjects before you are through, then it interferes with what indeed you wanted to say. So that is what happened. But again, that is a very good learning experience. I have nothing to worry about.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what was the context? What do you think that they did not appreciate from you?
You see, when you asked me what was Sifuna's agenda, the first response was that one, he does not have a manifesto. Okay. But it is in the process of being made. Okay. All right. And I think that should have been the basic in terms of the question you're asking me. Yeah. But again, now when you went ahead, what is it that he stands for? Okay. And I was trying to talk about the preamble of the Constitution, the implementation of the Constitution. So others were wondering, what is this Constitution that you're talking about? Yet in reality, when you look at our Constitution, and I've said it times and again, the biggest issue that we have in this country is corruption. And the best way that we can actually curb corruption in this country is to implement the Constitution by the fact that we have so many institutions that has been put in place that can actually help us curb that. Okay. As long as you have political goodwill in terms of the person who is there at the top. Okay. Because at the end of the day, when you look at EACC and the number of people who are allowed into the system to even vie, sometimes you wonder, do they actually meet chapter 6 of the Constitution in terms of integrity, in terms of what their values and everything? Yet, before you even vie for anything, you need to go through that whole process to fulfill chapter 6 of the Constitution. Yes. But that has not been met in the first place. So it becomes very difficult to talk about progress, to talk about anything that can actually move this country forward without first of all cementing the point that we actually need to implement the Constitution. And that is to allow bodies like EACC do their work as they should. Yes. Yeah.
All right. So then you had your president elect Mr. Sifuna speaking on TV the other day. Yes. How did you feel like he answered some of the questions that I was asking you last time?
I will tell you because to a very big extent, he did not want to point out to things as they were. Like, this is the first agenda, second agenda, third agenda. Why? I have said before that, when you read the book 48 Laws of Power, it is sometimes very important to keep your enemies guessing, not to understand what you actually stand for. So when everything is ready and the blueprint is ready, then now we can pin him down and say, this is actually what.
So what is he supposed to wait to make us wait for? Like yes, I understand the 48 Laws of Power is that you're supposed to keep your enemies guessing. So what is the guess here? You see, but that perhaps he's not going to be president, or he's going to be a governor, or he's going to be a senator. So what guesswork are we supposed to guess?
And that is what is happening in the whole united opposition.
Yes.
They have not revealed their presidential candidate because the person they are going to face is one monster, William Samoei Ruto. A man who has been in politics since 1992.
Yeah.
A man who is full of conmanship and deceit, as he says.
Conmanship and deceit.
Yes.
You believe that Ruto is a conman?
Of course.
Okay. Who has he conned?
I mean, if someone lies to you, who are they?
Is that a conman?
Let me borrow from the Bible. The Bible says, the devil is a liar, and those who lie, the devil is their father.
All right.
So, in lack of better words, that is how I would put William Ruto to be.
Okay.
Because I think today you've seen what has been trending. People trying to bring up promises after promises after promises that he promised, and they were warned with by people like Martha Karua. This guy does not know. When you look at the agenda that he has, only 4 of the promises that he made that he has fulfilled by now. But everything else has been stories after stories. When you look at his speech this week, he's talking about Beyond Vision 2030.
Yeah.
Yet he was there when they were supposed to implement the other medium-term plan of Vision 2030 when he joined government with Uhuru in 2013.
Yes.
Because it was supposed to be 2013, 2017, 2017, 2022, 2022, 2027, because it has been in election cycles, right?
Yeah.
So he's trying to give us again. He's trying to talk about beyond 2030. Yet very clearly, he's the same person who has been telling us about Singapore. So which is which? So
a lot of people are saying that Ruto is actually the high priest of conmanship and defrauding and gaming people. And you're saying that everybody that is trying to go against President Ruto in 2027 has to, have everything that it takes to drive him out.
Yes.
But then when your Sifuna was on TV, and he was asked whether he wants to become president, he said no.
He didn't say no, because I want you to understand one thing.
Okay, he did not say no.
I want you to understand one thing. Linda Mwananchi is a movement. It is not a political party.
Okay.
Because you see, it is a political party that actually has all the ideologies and constitutions and what they want to implement.
Okay.
In fact, when you look at history and the movements that you've had, including in the US, including in Serbia, they first of all began as movements that people connected because of one single ideology.
Okay.
All right? And in particular, the ideology that people have had, even when they join Linda Mwananchi, because Peter will tell you, we have people from Wiper who still support Linda Mwananchi. People from Jubilee and other parties who support Linda Mwananchi.
I think they're joking though.
Because generally when you look at it, this is a political idea in terms of one grievance that people are surrounding themselves around before the structures come into place.
Yeah.
In fact, when you look at Serbia, I think that was in 1952.
Yeah.
The main goal was, first of all, to take the president out.
Okay.
And then when they took the president out, the president who came into office actually developed a manifesto and a blueprint for that country when now they had come to office. So not before, during the movement.
Okay.
Because I think a movement, again, let's give another example. Look at ODM and how it started.
Yeah.
It started during the first what was it about?
The chungwa banana.
The chungwa banana. Yes or no? And no actually represented the chungwa.
Okay.
And before that, it was called People's Liberation Party.
Okay.
So now after they had won, that is now when they morphed into Orange Democratic Movement. All right.
Yes.
Even from the word go, you understand it's actually a movement, and it now formed the policies and structures around it to capture power in 2007. That is now when Raila actually now came into. That is now when Raila was ready to contest. So when
there were several parties. There were several parties around that. Even when Raila was doing a no and a yes, Raila had a party, right?
Yes, but as you look at that, it all began as a movement in terms of No, people were rejecting
Yeah,
the draft.
it was a banana orange movement.
Yes.
Okay.
And it is the no movement that actually won that pre-referendum.
Okay.
All right. And after it had won, now it morphed into what is called ODM. All right. Orange Democratic Movement.
All right.
To become now a serious party that went ahead to produce a candidate to vie for the elections in 2007.
Okay.
So that is exactly what I'm trying to say. That
So
right
then
now,
when we come back to Sifuna, what is the deal here? When we come back to Sifuna, not saying that he doesn't want to. When he was asked by Yvonne Okwara, he said that he doesn't want to be. He's not saying whether he wants to be president or not. So then, how do you tie it to that?
What you need to understand
Yeah.
is that this is a movement that is growing and it is going through very different stages. And once before we go to 2027, probably by January, it will have actually now had all the structures in place. And I think you've heard Sifuna and all the other Linda Mwananchi say. All the other, how do we call them? All the principles. The principles in Mwananchi clearly say that at the moment there is something that is being developed, and so you cannot.
But Sifuna can say that he's gonna be president. Mr. Peter can say I want to be president.
Yes.
You can say I want to be president.
Yes.
Nyandoga can say I want to be president. Chagero can say I want to be president.
Yes.
But at some point we are going to sit down and agree on who actually do we think is strong enough to be the solitary president that is coming from us.
Yes.
So I don't understand why Sifuna could not say that he wants to be president. Because they just asked him, do you want to be president in 2027?
I want you to understand that in Linda Mwananchi, all the principles are equal. And that is why not a single person can actually make a decision without all the other.
No. We are not asking Sifuna to make a decision for the rest of the people. In fact, the question was not whether he was going to be the presidential candidate of Linda Mwananchi.
Yes.
The question was very specific and direct. Are you going to be president? Are you going to run for president in 2027?
And there was a reason why he responded the way he did, because he said very clearly, it is the people together with the principles of Linda Mwananchi that will decide. Not that
people like you.
Yes.
How will you decide?
I mean, he's been traversing the country just like Baba used to do, trying to get the opinion and understand the people.
How is he getting the opinions? He's just sitting on the podium and talking to people.
Before he does
shutting
that,
down the people that are
No. If you look at the rally that was there last weekend, he met several people in his home. And that is why
the politicians.
And that is why
they were not normal people. They were politicians. They were
who said there were no normal people in his home?
Bro,
no. There is no way you're going to say just politicians.
I mean, you can't go to Kisumu.
Yes.
You can't go to Kisumu and meet Nyongo, meet Orengo, meet Buyu, and meet Opande. Now, at Acacia Hotel, come out and go and address people at Moi Stadium and then claim that you've talked with the people. It doesn't work like that.
Look at it this way.
So
the media only highlighted the meetings that he had with the politicians, but not with the people.
All right.
But if you check online, you will see the number of times he was meeting with the people on the ground. That is why he was there. And again also,
I mean, let me understand.
Yes.
So when he meets with them, what does he ask them? That do you think I am man enough to be president?
No.
What is he? How is he doing it?
Raila used to do it this way.
Yes.
Okay.
At the end of the rally, he used to ask people, munaunga mkono? They say yes. Mutani support niwe rais wenyu? They say yes. Sifuna, most of the time I've watched him during those rallies.
Yes.
They're just there to slogania.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yes.
Has he not asked a number of times?
They are sloganeering.
No.
I am happy that it is coming from Kalonzo's camp. They are sloganeering.
Actually, it's not even about Kalonzo. We are just the naked eye. See?
Yes.
Has he not asked a number of times from the people?
So the reason why I'm asking you that, Mr. Meroka, is that I think that when we approach 2027, we don't want to have this conmanship of politicians claiming that they are speaking to people, but in reality, they are not really speaking to anyone.
Of course.
Because you go to, look at Kitengela. Do you want to tell me that there was anybody being talked to in Kitengela?
The problem
from the crowd was handpicked.
No. The problem is that you think Sifuna must call Miruka personally to his office, meet him, and do that for the 50 million Kenyans. Yet he has said he's meeting technocrats, he's meeting economists, people who can actually help him form strong manifesto that actually needs to be implemented in this country.
Yeah.
So those are the people that he's speaking to. If you expect,
but he's not meeting the people.
He is
he's meeting technocrats.
That is why
engineers.
he said, no. Jagero, you want to box men? I'm not going to allow you this time.
No, I'm not boxing you.
No. I am not going to allow you this time. I am going to put it straight forward.
We are not fighting, and I'm not trying to trap you. I'm not going to actually make you go viral.
No. Not this time.
Okay.
In fact,
yes.
what Sifuna said is, when he meets the people, he keeps asking them, will you support me? Ama,
so what have they said so far?
Yes, they're supporting him. That is why they're paying money.
So Sifuna has gone to Kitengela, correct?
Yes.
Sifuna has gone to Machakos, yes.
Coast.
He's gone to Coast, yes. He's gone to Taita Taveta, right? He's gone to Kisumu, right? He's gone to Kakamega, right? He's gone to Trans Nzoia, right? He's gone to Bungoma. What have they said?
The people have told him that we want you to be president, and you're going to support you.
So then they have told him, so why couldn't he say it on TV?
I mean, that is just 13 counties that he's been into, and that is not the full sample of the 47
I want to go to this gentleman who is busy. And what do you think? I mean, what is going on there?
Let me respond to Miruka.
Yes.
Sifuna is a good leader. And of course, I bought his agenda a very long time ago. But the problem Sifuna has, number one, is that Sifuna is being surrounded by opportunists.
Yeah.
When you have a look at those surrounding Sifuna, these are just the normal political opportunists we know around.
Okay.
They are the people when Maraga was being hyped by the Gen Z, they were in Team Maraga. When Fred Matiang'i was resigning from the World Bank to come back, Gen Z was saying. You see, what my friend Miruka and the Linda Mwananchi Brigade must remember is one. Gen Zs always follow the trending stories. When you have a look at more than 80% of Sifuna supporters are young people. Being a young person, I understand it quite well. That one of the problems Sifuna will face is to change that organic crowd into the real voters.
Okay.
And let the social media and the crowd don't sway their minds.
Okay.
If media or being hyped by social media was anything that could win you and hand you an election victory, then in Nairobi in 2017, either Peter Kenneth or Miguna would have won elections. The most disturbed politician in the country right now must be one Edwin Watenya Sifuna. This is the reason. Apart from being surrounded by opportunists we know, number one, this crowd is not organic. Look at politicians surrounding Sifuna.
Okay.
The only person I can trust in Mulinda Mwananchi camp is one James Orengo.
Okay.
This is somebody who has been in the political field since 1978 and he has been true to self. But when you have a look at the rest, are either opportunists and rebels. Number two, Linda Mwananchi is full of people, apart from them being political opportunists, there are people in Swahili tunasema hawawezi kuona ukiprosper na wanyamaze. Sifuna's wave has in fact moderated and neutralized majority of Linda Mwananchi politicians in that camp.
Okay.
I don't think they're happy about it. I won't mention name and you know that story. If you look at their body language in the stage, when one of the politicians who believed every time he should be hyped, when he entered the stage, he's even forced to say, sisi ndio Sifuna. He left the microphone and say, mimi ndio Sifuna. Before he says that, unaona tu body language. And then Sifuna's been pigeonholed as Uhuru Kenyatta project.
Okay.
And I think it's time for Sifuna at least to work on
to
work around
it. You see, whoever alleges must prove.
Yes.
All right.
And
I
now
can even prove, by the way.
And now this is the problem of being pigeonholed.
You want to prove?
I want to ask my brother Meruka.
Okay.
You had I was actually telling Abiz when I was asking Abiz when I saw her posting that we were in Machakos, they endorsed us. We were in Kakamega, they endorsed us. I want to ask you, Meruka, one question. You were in Machakos.
Yeah.
So you want to tell me when people from Machakos go to the ballot, you say you had a crowd. And if crowds are anything to go by, you guys will win in Machakos. You want to tell me if you go to the ballot, someone from Machakos sees picture ya Kalonzo, and down there they see Sifuna, you want to tell me they will overwhelmingly vote for Sifuna?
Maybe.
You want to tell me?
Maybe they will.
Look, answer me.
Yes, they will.
No. And in addition to that,
not serious.
when you look at Sifuna,
Giving him an answer.
you see Jagero
What
politics.
tell you that they will not?
You cannot come for a rally.
The question should be, why will they not?
let me tell you something about crowds. If crowds are anything to go by, Raila would have been president
a very long time ago.
As 2007, as early as 2013, 2017, 2022. But because politics is more of a science, you cannot have crowds and take crowds as organic support.
But Mr. Peter, why would the people in Machakos not vote for Sifuna?
Because Sifuna said that when you go to the market with the hyena and the Jagero comes with a goat, during the first 2 hours of the market day, let's say it's 5 hours of market day, or rather the first 4 hours of market day, they will all crowd at the hyena that is being sold. They have never seen anything like this. And you know, generally people are excited by such new faces.
Do you know they call Mount Kenya people hyenas? You're now calling Sifuna hyena.
You also mean that when Kilonzo goes to Western,
let me finish my point. But at the end of the day, they will go at home having bought a goat, because a goat is more realistic. It's an animal that is tolerable at home. But a hyena, everyone will wonder, are you mad? Are you serious? Miruka, I want to tell you today, being president is not easy. It's years and years of political investment. Does Sifuna have the money to mobilize people? You cannot earn that by just a 1 day's rally. You cannot take into account a 1 day's rally and say that is organic support. Something else. Do you know, even in the Western tour, people are being mobilized. People were being mobilized in the Sifuna rally. Yes, and something else that...
Who was mobilizing? Cleophas Malala?
No, the leaders in those grassroots. I'm telling you, even when we go for rallies with Kalonzo, Kalonzo might not be aware, but people on the ground, local aspirants, they mobilize their people to show that I'm being supported and I deserve this ticket.
So what is wrong with Sifuna mobilizing?
No, wait.
Wait.
So Miruka, you even made my point to disappear.
He's heckling on you.
He's heckling on me. So Miruka, I want to tell you, there's so many factors for you to arrive at presidency. Secondly, does Sifuna command his community? Does Sifuna command his community? There are no indicators.
Do you think that Sifuna does not command?
No, he does not.
Of course.
What for you agree?
Yes.
You agree that does not command Luyaland?
Yes, true. For you to command your community, there must first be a battleground.
Yes.
The reason Rigiji commanded Mount Kenyas of today, Rigiji, after being impeached, he positioned himself as the kingpin, and President Ruto, through his theatrics, tried so many times to challenge him in the mountain. In politics, some victories are failures in disguise. The day Rigiji commanded the mountain was after the by-election in Mbeere North. President Ruto knew very well, even if Wamudende of UDA won the election, some victories in politics are failures in disguise. Sifuna doesn't have the wherewithal to command Western as of today. And if he believes the command, let President Ruto appoint somebody like Didmas Baraza to be a cabinet minister in his government. Then let us create a constitutional crisis within Western Nyanza, within Western region, so that Sifuna can prove to the whole of the republic. And apart from that, let him sit well with the majority of the elected leaders from that part of the world. If not, then we'll say his political status in Western Kenya is leading to a downfall.
Actually, most people are riding on Sifuna's shine.
Yes.
Have you ever asked yourself
they're
why?
Taking
advantage of his, of the
fame.
I
have a question.
Wait.
I have a question.
To me,
is it me against these two, or what is happening here?
I want to ask him a question. When Sifuna was
are you not the Sifuna supporter here?
No. Let me ask him this question. When Sifuna was in Machakos,
you do not support Sifuna so that we leave you alone.
No. What I'm trying to say.
Go ahead. What
he's running away so fast. I'm asking you, when Sifuna was in Machakos, who are the people who were in Machakos? Did you see Boni Halwale? He was not there, but you saw Dan Manzo, an area senator. You saw local aspirants. You saw the likes of other MPs like Robert Mbui.
What does that
Why
tell
is it
you?
so?
Because
this is a wave that is coming, and I need to capitalize on this wave.
Of course.
Yes, that is why you won't see Malala there. You won't
and
see.
Miruka will be the first person to dump Sifuna should Jagero come to fame today.
Yes.
Jagero, the day Kenyans will hype you and they say, Jagiro for 2027.
Yeah.
The first person will be here in your office, knocking at the door. One of them is Miruka.
Same thing.
Because
like,
politicians usually take advantage of the current fame.
It is like, for example, are you an aspirant?
Okay.
Like, for example.
Okay, you see now, I don't understand where this conversation is going, because the only question that I asked Miruka was what he thought about Sifuna's interview, and I asked him why Sifuna did not say that he wants to be president. That was the question. But these two hyenas.
Let me even support him on that. And I said it on my Facebook. You know why? Sifuna will support Kalonzo. That is one thing for a fact.
Who told you?
I should have worn that shirt and asked him a question. Who told
you?
Okay, what?
I hope you've ever watched even Babu Owino's interviews on Citizen.
Okay.
He's very clear. I will become governor. And he says it with a lot of authority.
Okay.
Sifuna was dilly-dallying around that question. This means this person is not sure. This is someone who seems to be supporting.
Can I ask you a question? Because you guys have I don't like how this thing is going, because everybody would think that today's conversation is about Sifuna, but I wanted to have a political temperature whereby I was talking about because we were talking about everything that happened during the week, and I started with Sifuna's interview, and that is what I was asking. So this guy has said something that is very interesting, that Sifuna is actually going to support Kalonzo, which is very interesting, and I think he's saying that because Rigiji the other day he said that Sifuna, Kalonzo and Matiang'i are not pulling their weight. True. Kama wangekuwa wanakimbia kama sisi, mimi na Sifuna nakimbia, mimi nakimbia, huyu jamaa angeharibika kichwa. Si ndio? That's what was going on. So that is why I wanted to ask this gentleman, and I'm going to come to his point, which I think is very important, by the way, when he says that Sifuna is going to be supporting Kalonzo. That's huge, because it's coming right from the bedroom of Kalonzo Musyoka.
Exactly.
So I want to ask you, how impressed were you with Sifuna's interview?
And you must remember you're in the united opposition.
No, Sifuna, let me start by saying Sifuna is a brilliant man.
Okay.
Sifuna, I have got no problems with Sifuna, but to be very honest, I was waiting to see Sifuna coming out and being clear about his plan, which he was not in totality. Yeah. Secondly, Sifuna, as per his body language and how he was answering those questions, he doesn't want to be president. He doesn't think it's ripe for him to be president at this moment. Okay. Yes. But generally, Sifuna is a good leader. He has demonstrated in parliament. He's a very good orator, like people are saying. Okay. But for presidency, I think Sifuna is not ripe for presidency, considering very many factors. Many factors, like even the ones that Odhiambo has even been giving us, the 7 keys. If you even go by that, Sifuna is not ready for presidency. Okay. Yes.
But then, if he's not ready for presidency, what do you think he's ready for?
What Sifuna is doing, he's moving around popularizing his movement. Okay. And like my brother said, not unless he forms a political party and translates those crowds and those numbers he purports into active figures in a political party, I don't think he might amount to anything if he does not convert all those numbers into a political party or tangible numbers that can be quantified. But Sifuna, at the moment, what he's doing, he's popularizing himself and positioning himself to be a national figure, a national leader, and that is why I'm saying that Sifuna is going to be Kalonzo's running mate, and take that to the bank. Yes. I also want to ask you something else. Okay. Why do you think Sifuna went to visit Kalonzo?
Why did he? Everybody else who is in the united opposition has been meeting each other.
Can I ask you a question? What did they discuss at that meeting with you? Do you have that video of Sifuna talking at the united opposition? We had cut it yesterday. Can you find it, please? There is Sifuna. In fact, you gave it to me yesterday, where Sifuna was speaking. There is a place where Sifuna is actually speaking.
And he said, I have 2 points.
Yes. Sifuna on the unity of the opposition, number 4. You have it? Play it, please.
We want to see one team united as the people who believe that President William Ruto does not deserve a second term. We must preach the unity of the opposition, and it's a unity that is based on certain values, and I'm coming to that as our second agenda here today, is to try to build consensus amongst the leadership of the opposition as to what they view is important.
Yeah, so that is so what do you think what was going on, because you seem to know more than we know, and the people of the internet are also trying to listen. What exactly was Sifuna trying to get from Kalonzo Musyoka?
Sifuna was just there to affirm the unity of the united opposition.
Okay.
Because many people were speculating. Even Kalonzo Musyoka himself mentioned that Uhuru even called him to confirm whether the allegations are true. They were just there.
What were the allegations?
That he has shifted from the united opposition into Ruto's camp. Yes, but that was not true.
Why do you think that Ruto, the former president Kenyatta, is alarmed?
He's alarmed because number one, remember, Kalonzo is a very important person in the united opposition. Actually, without Kalonzo, two terms is going to happen. It's going to be a reality without Kalonzo. So Kalonzo is an organ in the united opposition with tried, tested numbers over time. And that is why I'm also saying that Sifuna's numbers are not tried and tested. So this is someone who is very key in the united opposition. That is why even someone like Uhuru is going to be alarmed that how can we lose such a figure like Kalonzo in our united opposition? Because without Kalonzo, there's nowhere this opposition is going to go.
How does explain, contextualize
because
that?
Because Kalonzo at the moment, he commands a political base that has got numbers amounting to more than 3 million votes. If you look, yes.
Like the last time I checked, he had 2 million in his pocket. Why is the other 1 million coming from?
Remember, Kalonzo not only commands Ukambani, there are also supporters like us who are, personally I'm not from Ukambani, but I support Kalonzo. Look at coast, we also have members from the coast, right? At Aveta we have got an MP. So if we look at his numbers, they are well above 2.5, so around 3 million. Something else is that Kalonzo's influence in politics, his experience. This is someone you cannot afford to lose in the opposition. So that is why some of these leaders were quite alarmed. Sifuna himself even came together with the other leaders. So the idea of Sifuna running to Kalonzo Musyoka is to find out if these rumors are true. No, it was just
and Uhuru Kenyatta is also calling him to find out if it's true.
Sifuna,
because it is interesting that it is after the rumors emerged that everybody was rushing to Kalonzo. Gachagua is talking about in a manner that feels like they are about to be betrayed by Kalonzo Musyoka.
No.
Uhuru Kenyatta is coming from his retirement home to give a phone call to Mr. Musyoka, and Babu Owino is also rushing there, and Sifuna is also rushing there. There is smoke, but there is no fire.
No,
just a minute.
There is no smoke, there is no fire. Those were just bloggers and allegations that were made.
Which bloggers?
Government bloggers. You could see all over social media. They were saying Kalonzo has been bought, spreading very fake videos for 2023. The ones for the NADCO report when Kalonzo was in State House. They were just using
where he went and sat down.
Yes, where he went and sat down, and now they're saying that Kalonzo has been bought. He's in State House. This was all just fabricated. Yes, that is not factual. And
Kalonzo. When is the last time that you know that Kalonzo met with the President Ruto?
The last time they met with President Ruto was when was post the Sufuria movement mandamanos that culminated in the coming up of a document called the NADCO document. And they had gone there together with the committee, which included Kimani Ichung'wah, and they were there to submit the report to the president. That was the last time, and it's on public record. Yes.
Perhaps they have been thinking about some of the historical facts around Kalonzo Musyoka, which has seen him jump ship every other time. This is the fear. Do you think there is a real fear that of all the political candidates in the opposition, Kalonzo is the one who has got to who's light,
let us contextualize
and can fly any minute.
The last time that such allegations came was when I remember he was on national television, and he said that I'll be the most foolish person to support someone else. But people have not. People were spreading propaganda because Kalonzo on that statement he said without any measure of reciprocity from my colleague Raila Amolo Odinga. And that time they said Kalonzo amesema that he won't support anyone, and yet he's supporting Raila. You know what happens in politics? You must also have some reciprocity. When I support you, what will I get? And that is what happened in 2022. He supported Raila. He was not even in the ballot. Look at 2007. For the sake of national peace, national stability, he had to support Mwai Kibaki. Remember, he was also an aspirant. He was also vying for president.
But it took off immediately immediately after that, when blood was flowing and people were being killed around the country, he took off to Naivasha to shake hands with Kibaki so that he can legitimize him. That's what he did.
Raila has been doing that, but Kalonzo was an aspirant as well. There's nothing that was limiting him.
But Kalonzo could not wait for the country to cool down for him to take whatever position.
Sometimes,
but he was hoping over blood to go and shake hands.
Peace is paramount to politics.
But if Nani was not even in the country yet. The UN guy, what is his name?
Kofi Annan.
Kofi Annan was not even in the country, but he was already having a vehicle from the government to run around.
If you look at Kalonzo, even the nature of his politics, he's a peacemaker. He has been a diplomat. He has been for peace missions in Sudan, in Cote d'Ivoire. So that just his nature, and he found that peace was more of importance than petty politics.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I want to go to this gentleman, but I'm still staying with you a little bit to ask you a few questions. So, number one, before the rise of Sifuna, if you look at the is it called TIFA? The TIFA polls. TIFA polls have had about 5 polls in the last since November 2024. And if you look at the first 3 polls, Sifuna does not actually appear in any of the polls because nobody knew him as far as presidential candidacy is concerned. Yeah. For 3 consecutive polls, he does not appear. And then for the first time he appears, by the way, and he goes very close to both Kalonzo and Matiang'i. All right, because Matiang'i was polling at 32%, I think 32 to 36, immediately after the Gen Z movement. And that is what actually made him leave his World Bank job to rush home and take over, because Gen Z were baying for his blood to come and save them from Ruto. But then as Sifuna rises in currency, it sounds like your party leaders is going down. So between today and as we speak today, the polls are saying that Sifuna has risen above Kalonzo Musyoka, right? Yeah, oh, yeah. You agree?
I agree. I've seen those polls.
Yeah.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah. So now that is a quagmire for your party leader, right? Because how does he deputize you and is better than you in the polls?
You know, Jagero, let me tell you something, that some of these polls are also doctored.
Okay.
Yes.
Sifuna is doctoring them?
No, not Sifuna. Even government itself. If you can remember the Matiba story, government itself even sponsored crowds to come and give a false impression about Matiba as a strategy to ensure that Moi comes back to power.
Okay.
So I believe that those polls are not anything to go by, because how do you quantify your support base? We look at the numbers you are amassing in Parliament. We look at the numbers you are amassing in Senate. And Kalonzo, being a seasoned politician, his numbers have been tried and tested. But for Sifuna, if you are to go by those polls, it's just because of the crowds he has been having and the social media cloud that he has been enjoying of late. And those are not anything to go by. Because remember, Raila he also used to lead on those polls. But what will happen on election day?
But you see, it is very wrong to say that those crowds do not amount to anything. Because you and I live in this country and we know what happened in 2007. Let us not go back there. Those are facts, clear, everybody knows about it. And we do not have to go back there and say
so we should go into account of crowds.
It's not about going because of the account of crowds. Yeah. We are just saying, you are giving a very bad example by saying that crowds do not amount to anything. They do. And in fact, when you look at Raila's journey, because that is where Sifuna has learned his politics, you will realize the same thing that Sifuna is trying to do, in as much as he's pathing his own path, he's chanting his own path, is the fact that he's trying to see what is it that I can do, first of all, to be in touch with the common one.
Something else also with those polls. They're just a measure of popularity, and I can agree, Sifuna is very popular with the people. But will that translate into the ballot?
It won't.
It won't.
But I don't understand why are you guys so sure that Sifuna's votes will not amount to anything?
In fact, I was responding to the next thing. Why Sifuna met Kalonzo, and it is very, very, very clear. You know, the leader, the chairperson for Azimio is Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yes.
What is Kalonzo doing in Azimio? He's also a leader in Azimio.
He's actually the leader of Azimio.
Yeah, he's actually the leader of Azimio. Yes. But the chairperson is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And all these people in united opposition, if you look at them, tell me a time that Kalonzo has not met Matiang'i or has not met any of the opposition leaders. They have been meeting, and so it shouldn't be a surprise that when Sifuna goes and meets Kalonzo, it is him endorsing him. Who said so? In fact, what I think people need to understand is that in as much as people call Sifuna to be young, one of the things that is very clear, and he has said a number of times, that he's not a know-it-all. That is why he's bringing different stakeholders, because it is of the same reason the know-it-all person in this country has messed up this economy. And that is why even this week when you had the former cabinet secretary for treasury on what he was saying about the current president in terms of overrunning all the institutions, and people actually now have to bend to the rules because they act out of fear. So it is important that even when they are consulting, it should not be a sign that now he cannot be. As long as he has not said so, I know that in Linda Mwananchi he will still
do you want Sifuna to deputize Kalonzo?
Honestly, if there is a very easy ticket that is going to take, that is going to give Ruto 2 term is Kalonzo's, and I have a lot of respect for him as
Kalonzo as the president. Kalonzo as the president.
Yes.
What is your reason? What is your why do you dispute that?
Because Kalonzo, and I'm saying this very respectfully, has been known as watermelon. That is why even the united opposition was worried where Kalonzo was, because he can say today he's here, tomorrow is here. Until he clarified this week that he's not going to join Ruto, everybody was scared.
No. That's not what I'm asking though, Mr. Meruka. The question I'm asking you is, do you think that Sifuna should deputize Kalonzo? Assuming the assumption here is that Kalonzo does not become a watermelon.
Now, I want to put it this way, that I do not hold a brief for Sifuna what he chooses to do, because again, if I would put that, then anything can happen in politics.
Sifuna has been talking to you guys on the ground.
Yes, and I'm saying...
So what are you telling him? Don't follow Kalonzo or follow Kalonzo?
Actually, what I'm trying to say is the nation is ripe for a new generation of leaders that have formed around the ideology that Sifuna has. That is constitutionalism. And therefore...
Preamble.
Yes, the preamble of the constitution. And therefore, if anything, and that is why he's been consulting, people are actually telling Sifuna, it is time for you to go for the presidency. You may not have the experience, you may not have the knowledge of how a government runs, because it is like a revolving door, right?
Yes.
But you have the right people in different places to help you run government.
So then the strong answer is you'd not agree to Sifuna as a voter.
Yes.
You do not want Sifuna to deputize Kalonzo.
Yes.
Would you like Kalonzo to deputize Sifuna?
I am saying as long as
those are two questions. I'm not tricking you in any way.
To respond to you.
Yes.
There is the united opposition.
Yes.
They are going to field one strong candidate. And allow me to finish. And the candidate that I would want the united opposition to field is Edwin Sifuna.
Deputized by who?
That again is the united opposition to agree.
I'm asking your personal opinion.
No, I'm telling you my view on the president, not the deputy, because in the united opposition, it cannot be that
because Sifuna talks to the people. Assuming Sifuna was to ask you today.
Yes, exactly. Thank you very much for asking. Thank you very much for asking me that question.
Point blank.
Assuming Sifuna now answers.
I will tell you.
Sifuna might be watching, and I know you usually watch.
Yes, I will tell you point blank. The man that can actually help him deliver in his presidency is one man. The former cabinet secretary for internal affairs. Yes.
Internal affairs or interior?
Interior, sorry.
Yeah, so Okengo Matiang'i.
Of course.
You are tribesman.
What happens to Kalonzo?
Sorry?
What happens to Kalonzo?
He can be the Speaker of the National Assembly. He can be the Chief Justice. I mean, depending on what we agree.
I don't agree with the Meruka.
That is so demeaning. My brother.
Chill.
Do you know Kalonzo did an interview to be Raila's what? He did not even become the deputy.
No, but let me.
So nothing is impossible.
No. I think I was asking this question, this guy a question, and he has answered perfectly. And
let me ask him before. So you assuming Kalonzo?
Mr. Peter, the one asking questions.
Assuming Kalonzo is not in politics, do you think you can win with that ticket?
Can I tell you something?
Considering all the factors, leave alone names and personalities. Factors like blocks, factors like votes you have, factors like the number of assuming the resources that you command by yourself. Remember, elections are very expensive. Do you think that ticket can win realistically? Leave alone personality politics
as early as possible because of one thing.
All
right. I said the united opposition has not agreed as of now who will be the flag bearer. But countrywide, especially among the young people of Kenya, and I know you are a young person who probably doesn't buy to this idea, especially among the young people of Kenya, majority would actually want Sifuna to be president. In fact, when you go through,
there was a time they were supporting Morara to be president. Today they are on Sifuna.
No.
You cannot bag and trust the votes of young people.
Yes. You see, that is the problem. That is the problem I have with my fellow young people in Kenya, because for a very long time,
we are on political headache.
Allow me to finish my statement.
Politics on the ground.
Allow me to finish my statement. Kalonzo is someone that I respect so much. He commands a good number of votes. That is between 2 million to probably 4, if you look at it, right? But what about Gachagua? Do you know how much Gachagua commands? Over 4 million, right?
Yes.
So it is just the same thing, that of all these candidates, the people that what the people feel, Sifuna is actually the best to match Ruto. Why? Word for word. Talk about the aura of being a president. I mean, the articulation of
Politics is not about aura. You need to have some of the things.
Yes.
The history of this country is clear, Jagero. We need 5 things so that you can be a president in this country. Number 1, you need technocrats. These are professionals at least who are disciplined and respected, and can at least give you a serious, improvable and decent manifesto. As things stand today, Sifuna doesn't have. And in case he has all these technocrats, then they're sleeping on their jobs. Number 2, you need resources. And that is actually why Eugene Kijana Wamalwa supported Mwai Kibaki. He was supposed to be the flag bearer, but now when it comes to resources and everything, Kibaki had a better chance than him. When you have a look at Sifuna with this team, as I said earlier, Sifuna lacks genuine people. These are just people riding on Sifuna's coat due to the fame he has currently, because currently he's a man of the moment.
But to be fair to Sifuna though, don't you think that happens with all politicians?
It happens with all politicians, but with Sifuna's camp is now excess. Because look at even the youth leaders Sifuna has. These are the same people who worked with Maraga. These are the same people who came and told us we are Kikuyus after Rigiji impeachment. You remember?
Yes.
These are the same people who told Okia Omtata when Okia Omtata was petitioning almost everything in this country that Okia Omtata for president. These are the same people who said Maraga. So we can't trust them. Number 3, Honorable Sifuna needs panel boys. These are elected leaders who are loyalists of Sifuna. So that if somebody like Honorable Oscar Sudi from Kenya Kwanza regime, if he insults Sifuna or responds to Sifuna, we don't expect Sifuna to respond back. We need a member of parliament at least to respond back to Honorable Oscar Sudi on behalf of Sifuna. Another thing he needs is good crowd mobilizers. So that
he has Babu.
He has Babu, but the same way I said, the only genuine person in Linda Mwananchi is one James Orengo. The problem with Babu, as you know, is always one. Venye huwa nasema kama sio Babu itakuwa tabu and everything.
Even so him saying that he's the party leader. Then Orengo on the contrary said I will be the party leader.
He's a politician. Babu is he's a good politician. I support him. I love him. But the problem is that if you can sit down in a room and decide today Jagero is the party leader, the question is can this stand well with Babu? You should be a leader whereby if somebody comes and say Moses Nyanduga, you were supposed to be the party leader, but due to reasons 1 to 3, now let's take you to be the party's treasurer or secretary general. I should be somebody who can be so vigilant and be okay with that. And now these crowd mobilizers, they should be organic crowd mobilizer, so that if we were supposed to have a political rally in Kabete, then due to 1-2 reason we'll say, let us now revert and go back to the CBD. Does Sifuna have people who can support him? And Sifuna himself must question himself. Think of a situation James Orengo ametoka Linda Mwananchi. Think of a situation Babu Owino is out and Corelio Mondi. Can Sifuna himself command and still stand strong on his own? That's another question. He has not been tested over time. Sifuna is somebody who has been hyped by social media. He has been hyped by young generation. But you see, the fact is,
so your problem is Sifuna is becoming a victim of what has happened before.
Yes.
So the first people, Matiang'i fell victim to the same thing.
To the same thing.
Where a lot of people were singing his name, but after I came into the country at night and proceeded to Gusiland,
yes,
the people thought he was not ready.
And now
they took off quickly. Yes. And then Maraga came with his green belt movement.
Yes.
And then they thought, okay, we are not into plants.
And for Sifuna it's even
vegetables. Worse. And then they took off.
Yes.
And then now Sifuna has come with Season Sifuna, you know, he's trying to fit Raila's shoes. And so what do you think would make them take off? Because I'm thinking we are in August.
Yes.
And the elections are fast approaching. You've taken that sharp bend into January, okay? And we are barreling through to August. Are you having a feeling that there is another Meruka, there's another Peter that is going to come up so that people take off from Sifuna to go that side? Or do you have a feeling that some sort of political gimmickry can come out from the blues? They can probably fix him, take him a photo with him with the president, Ruto, and they get pissed off, or something is going to happen, or they're gonna leak a nude of him and they're gonna run away. What is it that you think is going to happen so that they take off from Sifuna? And if they take off from Sifuna, do you see anywhere they're going?
Yeah, the best avenue for Sifuna as it stands today is to first fit his political background, because politics in Kenya is all about tribe, and we cannot run away from this. Kenya's democracy is still not mature enough so that you can come from Central Province and you are most popular in Nyanza. And vice versa the same. We are still moving towards that direction, but slowly enough, slowly. We thought this was possible in 2024. But remember, after impeachment of Rigiji. So the problem I have with Sifuna is one. Like I said, number one, Sifuna doesn't have strong people we can depend on as the loyalist. Number two, my question is, should Jagger or any other character rise today, will this still keep the Linda Mwananchi's fame? Because the people who are supporting Linda Mwananchi, majority of them are young people. And these people, you cannot depend on these people and win election. And we used to say this is a lie.
Why is there a problem with dependability? Allow me to say something. One minute. Why is there a problem with dependability?
Dependability, the problem with dependability is one. When you depend on young people, hawa ni watu wanaweza kuruka anytime. Young people always follow the trending stories. A man of the moment. And for Sifuna to prove, then he must keep this fame until August next year. And keeping this fame, again, will be difficult because you must ask yourself, think of a situation today, Babu will chart his own political cause. Can this be a threat to Sifuna? If James Orengo moves away from Linda Mwananchi, will this be a problem to Sifuna? Can Sifuna, I think it's time for Sifuna to just go back to his western region and campaign there fully so that he can command around 70% of votes from western region. But this issue whereby I go to Nyanza, people will receive me. Even you yourself, today if you have a political rally in Kitengela, especially in that junction, even you, Peter Edwin, if you have what it takes to mobilize that crowd, they'll come there. This crowd we see attending political rallies, they are not supporters of these politicians in those crowds. These are some people who are just coming to listen to you.
Because Didmas Baraza also came after Sifuna and had a very huge crowd.
Huge crowd. And apart from that...
But what happened to that crowd?
What happened to the crowd?
And what did he say about Sifuna?
Now, this is good. What happened to Didmas Baraza is another story in this way. Everybody is aware that Didmas Baraza is an ardent supporter of President William Ruto. And when you have a look at how things went in that rally, we can practically say that Didmas Baraza, yes, is losing grip in Western Kenya, yes. But that alone can't be used to testify that Sifuna is a sole politician of the moment who can take President William Ruto home. Because you need several things. You need strong grassroots mobilization. Do Sifuna has a cultural grassroots mobilization? A structure in Western Kenya. And apart from that, the question, as I've been saying, the problem with Sifuna is a good man. He can do everything in case we can support him fully. but people surrounding Sifuna is the problem.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
you
interject. And I want to respond this way.
Okay.
I am actually bamfuzzled and discombobulated with the shenanigans of the thinking of the young people of this country. We have been talking about tribal politics for the longest time. Yet when you look at what they are saying, it is all about tribal.
We cannot run away from it.
Allow me to finish. Will you allow me to finish? Jagero, please protect me to finish my point.
So let me ask you. So if you vie for president, people will
let him finish. Let him finish because I am also wondering as he talks about tribalism. When I ask him about the deputy president, he goes back to his tribe.
Yeah.
So I am wondering why this is different. But anyway, go ahead.
Allow me. Number one, such thinking is what has dragged our country for the longest time. And I want to put it on record because I can see my friend Fidel Ongoya here throwing all jabs in terms of...
At you?
Yes, because he has known me to be a very neutral guy, but this time I've said I'm not standing on the fence and I have to make my stand very clear.
Okay.
Because this is a democratic country, you can support whoever you want.
Okay.
Based on the ideologies and factors that can actually make you go for whoever you want
but
to
I'm just...
Now, back to my point.
But to your point, correct.
This guy has said Sifuna has been hyped by social media.
Okay.
And I want you to look at the recent elections that have been happening countrywide. What is the biggest mobilization tool that people are using? Social media. I want you to also note that in 2024, before the demos and the breaking into parliament, you actually need to realize the mobilization was still on social media. Because that is where the majority of the young people are.
And do you know why?
Allow me to finish, all right? And as long as you look at social media and think this is not a tool that can actually be used, then you're so wrong, my friend. Social media is a powerful tool in this day and age. We have very many examples of people who have won elections in recent past through social media and mobilization through social media. Number two, you're talking about tribalism. I am a Kisi, all right? And I support Sifuna for the presidency. Why am I supporting him? Because of his ideology. All right? It is not because he's my trademate or whatever. It is because Sifuna's wave has gone across the country, not looking at specifically a region. He keeps talking about kingpins and whether he has a command of the Western region or not. Yet it has been clear that even in the Western region, many leaders are now actually endorsing Edwin Sifuna. All right? They have said they are being done away with the old guards, including Akina Wetangula, and now they want fresh blood that can actually steer them. That is why when I look at people who are telling us about Vision Beyond 2030, I wonder what they want to tell us, yet for the last 40-something years, they have been in government, and they have done nothing about it. And so I want to say very clearly to the young people of Kenya, it is us who are thinking about the dignity and the future of the young people of Kenya, because in 10 to 15 years' time, I will no longer be a youth. But in that time, what will be happening to my children? We must look at the future that we want to forge forward, and that has to be with someone who has a clarity of what they actually want to do. And that clarity has to come from our constitution and nothing else. Forget about the manifesto. They're very good. When you look at the manifesto of UDA, bottom up, and what ODM had, they are almost similar, copy and paste. Yet, we had a very clear vision in terms of what we want to do in Vision 2030. And even when you look at Uhuru Ruto presidency, it was clear they were working on 4 agendas. 4 agendas during their time. But right now, everything is so confused. Look at education, look at everything that is there in this government. There is a lot of confusion. And that is why majority of those who have joined Linda Mwananchi, apart from just being one term, it is because of looking at who is going to take us there. Remember, even when you look at the Bible, Moses did all he could. But the person who was taking them to Canaan was Joshua. And this is our Joshua moment. And Sifuna is that Joshua. You must remember that Joshua was a young person. Just like Sifuna is. So you can say all you want about social media and whatever.
You see, my
but
point
you must
was
remember.
this.
I want to give another example. Kalonzo is 73 years old. All right?
How old is Matiang'i?
I have not checked on that, but I can look at it. But we know Sifuna is 55 years old.
I wanted to ask you, did you choose Kengo Matiang'i to be the vice president of Sifuna because he's your tribesman?
That is not at all. Why I chose him, I am looking at someone who understands government very well, who has been in government before.
Okay, number one. That is number one.
That is number one. Number two, someone who can actually execute the plan that Sifuna will have come up with for this country. Because look at him when he was serving under Uhuru. He is an executor in terms when it comes to what needs to be implemented. So when you look at him and where he sits, he can actually help Sifuna to execute whatever he has in terms of his manifesto.
But can I ask you though?
Yes.
What execute what specifically? If you were to
the government agenda, the government is a revolving door. It is not just
education. No, but he can't execute everything in government. I mean, where does he fit?
He cannot execute.
Ministry of Education?
No. I'm saying as the deputy president. You know what the constitution says?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So
deputy president going to be go there, come here.
No.
What is the work of the deputy president?
He will help Sifuna see how he needs to run government. Remember, this is a system, and if you're not careful about the system, it can swallow you. All right. So he understands the system because he's been there for more than 10 years.
But Kalonzo has been there more. Kalonzo has been there more.
In fact, more than 45 years for Kalonzo.
Yeah, so Kalonzo.
And in those 45 years, Kalonzo did that is apart from 45 years,
I think we can answer that. Let me tell you, Miruka, now. It is good now.
So today I have to.
The problem number one, you see the problem with Linda Mwananchi supporters has always been one. By the way, for me, I'm not even supporting the government, but we must never run away from whatever is there in the ground. Okay. The fact is, for you to win an election today, number one, you must follow these tribal kingpins. They're the ones who will support you. This played quite well in 2022 and is still number one factor in 2027. If Sifuna wants to be the president, he must go and look for Rigiji. He must look for Kalonzo. He must look for Matiang'i and any other tribal figure. The politics of Nairobi has always been the same. That is why today you see Babu Wino looking for Kikuyu Council of Elders, looking for Kikuyu politicians, and the same. So, Miruka, I support your ideology. I'm a young person who wants change. But this country still, as we speak today, you cannot be the president if you rely on young people.
But then when just a minute,
yes.
when will that change? When will you break that mold?
It is good. You see, in a revolution there is
because
always an inception.
Because I think Sifuna has to try
yes.
and go through that wall. If he does not try and go through that wall, when because I think that for us to actually see that change and see that and look at ourselves in the mirror and look at really that change, then we have to have the elections of 2027 behind us. When we stand beyond 2027, we shall have judged the young people the way we want to judge them. But before 2027, I think it is a bit defeatist to say that okay, we are not going to try this. So don't you think that perhaps we should go with the ignorant idea of ignorant idea of this gentleman, quote unquote, and try to do it and see our failure for what it is? Then we can actually collect ourselves from where we have fallen and say that okay, this is a test that we were trying to do, but look, it has failed. So then you are not hopeful at all.
You see, what's happening is this, Jagero.
Yeah.
In next year's election, we don't want things to do with Raul and Era, because whoever we are competing against is President William Ruto. And it takes a strong man who has been tested and tried to remove President William Ruto from power. All these tribal politics.
Okay, yes, then.
Yeah.
I think I get your point.
Yes.
So who do you pick to get into the ring with His Excellency the President Dr. William Samoei Ruto?
I'll support Kalonzo's presidency deputized by Sifuna. And this is the reason.
Okay.
You see, the tribal politics we are talking about will not end very soon in this country. And this is the reason. It started from independence.
All right.
The way Kenya's independence was constituted and everything which was rigged into place, it positioned this country to be so tribal when it comes to political matters in this way.
Okay.
An equal distribution of government resources has always been designed so that if your tribe is in government, that is when you get the resources.
Okay.
And this is the foundation of the tribal politics.
Okay.
Like when Jomo Kenyatta was the president, he benefited Mount Kenya. And he benefited it to an extent. They believed that we can only benefit once we are in government. That is why you saw Luos trying so hard to be in that government so that they can benefit equally like the people of Mount Kenya. And this is why you see even the leaders of Western, even Sifuna when he speaks, he's not speaking from the bottom of his heart that I love Kenyans.
Okay.
He's trying to ensure that he can be there at the central place in the government to help his supporters and his people. So let nobody lie to you.
Okay. I get your point, but yes. I want to stay with you for a little while because you start by saying that we look at the reality of our politics.
Yes.
Then let's go to the reality of our politics. So now you pick Sifuna to deputize Kalonzo.
Yes.
Kalonzo is a presidential candidate. What are the assumptions here? The assumption is Matiang'i will join that ticket and support it.
Yes.
Because the last time we were checking, we realized that actually Kisii might be having 1.6 million votes. We go to Munyoro because now we are on the reality of side of politics.
Yes,
He's got, let's say, 4 million.
Yes.
Okay? So the assumption here is that the Kisii kingpin joins the fray,
Yes.
and the Montana kingpin, who is Gachagua, joins this ticket. That is the assumption.
That's the assumption.
But Rigiji might be looking at the whole shebang and is asking himself, okay, how do I profit from this arrangement? Because we know that Rigiji wants to be the next Raila. What are you, so you are in a room with Rigiji. What are you telling him about this ticket? Why should he support this ticket?
Nice. You see why I'm proposing my.
No, you're talking to Rigiji.
To Rigiji.
What are you telling him?
This is what I'll tell Rigiji.
Yeah.
Number one, Rigiji should just support Kalonzo's president because of this.
Okay.
If Rigiji dares to stand for president next year,
Okay.
Rigiji will fail terribly. Because it will be so easy to decampaign Rigathi Gachagua.
No, I don't think you are in a room and you're telling somebody that they are going to fail.
But
I think you are telling them what they are going to get.
Yeah, what they are going to get.
So that is what I want you to tell me. You are putting some bread on the table. What does this bread look like to Rigiji?
It is so safe.
Are you going to give him a parastatal head?
Not really.
Are you going to give him the chairman of a board?
Not really.
What are you giving?
Prime cabinet secretary will be a sure bet for Rigiji should Kalonzo win elections.
Prime?
Yes.
Prime cabinet
Prime cabinet secretary?
Yes, the position Mudavadi holds today.
And that he can hold with this impeachment settled?
Yeah, you see, he can hold that position.
The position is illegal according to the law, correct?
Yes.
So,
but the same case still exists in the court.
Yeah. So again, we are planning with an illegality. Then we go back to the preamble, right? And we are at war with our own selves. You see what I mean? Okay. So I think that Rigiji can actually accept to be prime minister.
Yes.
Or prime cabinet secretary. Okay, so that's what you tell him.
Yes.
And then he throws his weight behind the ticket. I think that works.
Yeah, it works because
I think Rigiji is going home happy, right?
Yeah, that is a sure bet. And
but he's also going to be looking for ministerial posts.
Yeah, of course. For
out of the 22, he might be going for how many? You think?
He might be going for around 10.
10, half.
Half of them.
And Sifuna is not bringing a few of his lawyer men.
Sifuna will still have a problem because even if Sifuna is elected deputy president, in that government, Sifuna supporters who will enter into that government are not his loyalists, and that's a problem. Sifuna's real loyalist.
When you give Sifuna, so you are giving him 0.
You are giving Sifuna like 3. 3 of them.
Okay, and he's saying why? And you're telling him what?
This is the reason.
Okay.
When you have a look at the kind of voters Sifuna will bring to the table, they can be many, yes.
Okay.
But these are not his real and organic supporters.
Who are they?
Babu Owino
tell us, who are they?
Has a proper segment in Linda Mwananchi following him. Should Babu Owino have a problem with Sifuna today? More than 1 million Sifuna supporters will leave that camp. Should James Orengo leave that camp today? Half a million supporters.
I want to ask you another question, which is really troubling me here.
Yes.
The idea of Sifuna is the idea of new blood.
Yes.
And we know that the constitution is a bit crazy, right? And once Kalonzo Musyoka climbs onto that pedestal, the presidency, he is all powerful. So when Kalonzo becomes president, we actually having somebody that was introduced in politics in 1984 when I was 2 years old. This is the same person that would become the Secretary General, the organizing secretary of KANU, all the way to when? Around 1998, as just this is the guy that eloped, that followed Raila Odinga when Raila Odinga broke ranks with Moi.
Yes.
After Moi decided that he's going to support Uhuru then. Uhuru having failed to capture anything proper. Gatundu, I think, seat in 1997 as an MP. Okay? So then we are having the same person that in 2007, after the bloody elections, took off and joined Kibaki and became a vice president for a long time, right? So this is the guy again that, you're right, well, so then Miruka, so what changes this? Assuming that we go with this ticket, because we know that Kindiki doesn't have as much power, in as far as we are concerned, we have a feeling that even Murkomen can tell him to go and bring him a cup of tea, right?
Yeah, Sudi.
Yeah, Sudi. Yeah, so then Wiz Kalonzo then in this government is useless, right?
I will not say he's useless because again,
what is he gonna do?
He has a part to play, and allow me to say this. Probably will read what my friend Adrian wrote.
Okay.
I am convinced all it takes is one president with a genuine intent like Edwin Sifuna.
Okay. Why is he writing this?
Change the direction of this country.
Why is he writing this?
No, this he had written sometime this week.
Okay.
So I'm actually reading what he said. All right, and we are going to allow all these old guards to come, but they must understand that the young blood is actually yearning for change, and the only person that can actually take us forward in terms of the change that you want is Edwin Sifuna.
So this is exactly why you are not interested in Kalonzo being the presidential candidate.
Yes.
Because it takes you back to 1984. Was your mother married then?
Of course she was.
1984.
You're forgetting something.
Yes, she was. Jagero. Well, I cannot abuse my mother in this show.
No, that's not an abuse. Surely.
That's a question.
That's not an abuse.
Yeah, I'm saying she was.
No,
you
that's
are refusing. You know my mother.
But
I am saying she was and you're refusing.
okay.
Do you know my mother?
Okay. I agree, but you can't surely say that I'm abusing her because she was not married in 1984.
Yes.
I'm just trying to tell you how much Kalonzo has been in this government.
No, let me also add something.
Okay.
You're saying the young blood.
Okay.
We're also forgetting that this young blood, they are not supporting Sifuna only.
Yeah.
They are young blood who are supporting Kalonzo like me.
Those
they are young blood
supporting
they are young blood supporting William Ruto.
Yes.
So do not generalize it and say that it's the young people. Also do not forget that to be voted in as president, you also need the elderly, the middle-aged, and the young people. So, and you cannot only win by the young people's opinions. You also need the elderly people's opinions. You also need the votes of the middle-aged people. So do not only bank on the young people, my friend. So we cannot go by the young people.
I want to tell this people
and
to
also
understand.
Jagero, you see, post 2024 protests, most of these young people have gone back to their tribal groups.
Yes.
Most of them have gone back to their tribal
Have you gone?
No, personally I'm supporting Kalonzo. I have not.
It's only a few of us like this. You're saying most, yeah.
I've seen most. I'm not part of the most. Because personally I'm from Mount Kenya, but I'm supporting Kalonzo.
Give us the numbers.
No, the most. For example, how many young people do you see singing two-term?
Very
many.
Very many.
Were they the
Millions.
same people you are seeing saying Ruto must go in 2024?
Same.
They are the same young
Do you
people.
know why they sing two-term?
Okay, well, let us go slowly. Look at even this bunge la Mwananchi. There was a time they were supporting Raila.
Yes.
There was a time they were abusing Ruto.
Yes.
Today they are singing
They are
Ruto
supporting
two-term.
people of the moment.
Yes.
Yes.
So
And
my friend, do not only bank on what is
just
happening.
word something. What Miruka doesn't understand is one.
Okay.
Sifuna doesn't represent the voice of young people because he truly loves us. Sifuna is just a victim of political happenings in the country.
Yes.
Sifuna came to fame when he started to question things to do with broad-based government after the demise of Raila.
Yes.
And you cannot be so little-minded to dismiss a rumor. There was once a rumor which surfaced that Sifuna was denied a cabinet slot. Whether it's a rumors or not, Sifuna is a victim of political happenings in the country. And let me remind my brother who talked about unity of young people in 2022 and also gave us a good history what happened in 2002. 2027 and 2002 election are two different things. In 2002, there was already a popular public opinion that 40 years of Kanu regime was enough. And they were supporting anybody who would send Moi and his surrogate forces home. In 2027, it's different because of this. In 2024 again, it was just an organic movement led by young people. Anytime we have an organic movement led by the people, it has always been successful. And this can be seen even in some of the countries like Nepal, what happened in Indonesia. Yes. And of course, the other day we saw some kind of uprising in Serbia. But now, my brother, in 2027, number one, Sifuna, we don't know what Sifuna want in the first place.
Yes.
Sifuna has not declared that I'm a presidential candidate. Sifuna has not declared that I'm a gubernatorial candidate or a senatorial candidate. Kalonzo has said openly, I'm a presidential candidate. And like politics work, we don't work with rumors or just by doing some of the guesswork. We work with what we are sure of. And the Gen Z you saw in 2022, the only thing which brought Gen Z together is one. And this thing has been bringing most of the poor societies in Kenya together is suffering. We united because there was punitive taxes which were supposed to be passed. We united because of the suffering of Kenyans. But what is the justification of Sifuna's presidency? Sifuna has been attending all these media interviews. If Sifuna is serious that he wants to be a presidential candidate, let him tell us, we don't want housing project. I'll do this.
Because now you are trying to answer the question that I've not asked you.
Yes.
Because that's where I was going.
Yes.
I was going to ask you.
Yes.
Because now, Nyandogo, I don't know if you're listening to yourself, but you are telling Kenyans that they should actually have Kalonzo Musyoka as their president, deputized by Sifuna. But now you're demanding what Kalonzo Musyoka should come to the TV and the internet and everywhere else to say. So then why do you want him to be president? And he has not said those things.
I want Kalonzo to be president because number one, Kalonzo can listen to the people. Unlike President Ruto, Kalonzo is somebody who can listen to the people. In 2024, for example, we Gen Zs came to the stations and we said, we don't want anything to do with tax. And believe you me, if Kalonzo was the president at that time, he would have probably listened to the people. He would have said, if Kenyans doesn't want things to do with corruption, they don't want the new funding model in our institutions of higher learning, they don't want things to do with tax, then let me listen to them. And that is the only reason as to why I love Kalonzo, because when point reaches, when you should listen to the people, he listened to the people. My brother was proposing Matiang'i. Fred Matiang'i, we know. Fred Matiang'i, even during demonstrations, the NASA Jubilee, people were being killed. Fred Matiang'i was just there. And in fact, he was the one who even addressing media and saying, they've banned things to do with the NRM. Miguna, who is being deported. I don't love Kalonzo Musyoka because of his manifesto.
You have a feeling that he might listen.
He might listen to the people and give the people the priority to lead all these visible projects and development in the country. If people say, enough with corruption, he will listen. If people say, enough with tax, enough with all this, he might listen to the people. Unlike others, a very good example, again, in this situation is Sifuna. Sifuna has not been tested. How sure are we that if Sifuna becomes a president, he'll also listen to the people? How sure are we if he becomes...
Sifuna has not been tested? He's been in... How many years has he been in the Senate?
It is good. Sifuna has been a senator for 4 years.
Yes.
And Sifuna has not been tested.
And what tells you that you must be
wonderful
corruption?
Because let me remind you,
what they're trying to say. Allow me to finish.
No. The fact is... Yeah, let me finish. Then we'll continue. The fact is...
voted to impeach Gachagua.
Yeah.
He benefited from Ruto's money. From blood money like...
And in addition to that, Sifuna said he was against President
You guys are saying that Sifuna took money to impeach Ruto?
Yes.
Yeah.
To impeach Gachagua?
Yes.
Whoever
My friend,
Sifuna
the other day.
There was a day Sifuna was in a burial together with Gachagua.
Yeah.
And he said, hata mimi hata kama niliitikia kukuimpeach, sina ubaya na wewe. What makes you think...
He stated clearly the grounds on which he actually supported the
Junet on the other day.
If you are truthful with the ground, you won't take money for you to impeach Gachagua. In addition to that, young people were killed in 2024.
You actually believe those in government that Junet, whatever he's saying about Sifuna,
they were all paid.
But then the question is then, why was Gachagua bad then, and why should he go? Because Sifuna has been going to him and talking to him. So why is he going suddenly?
Because of one thing.
Why is he good today?
Allow me to say something. because of one thing. You people must never underestimate President William Samoei Ruto.
Yes.
If he ever survived June 2024 when he was addressing the nation alone, no one can take that for granted, and no one can underestimate what he's able to do.
So whatever it takes.
That is number one. Number two, we are going to allow anyone with the same mind, like us in Linda Mwananchi, to actually join us. Because I've said, all it takes is one political goodwill, the one at the top, to actually change this country to the direction that it wants to go to. Because that is very important to note. Otherwise, if you don't, then you will not see the reason as to why we are talking about.
So even if you're a murderer, you are corrupt, you are
Number three.
wherever you are, you are welcome to join Linda Mwananchi.
I want you to understand why we are allowing all that. The single biggest problem that we have, and the virus that the system has had for the longest time, is William Samoei Ruto, whether you like it or not. Ever since the days when he was in youth for Kanu, and the things that he used to do there, you know, most recently I've been seeing friends, not to look what tumekuwa warned. Because, in fact, I can go ahead and say, when I look at the Uhuru government, there is a part that actually Deputy President William Ruto then played to make the government look like it was. And I have no apologies for that. Because the same things that used to happen in Uhuru government is what we are seeing in his current government. And therefore, can I ask you
a question?
Allow me to finish first.
Yes, finish.
It goes on to say that actually what you used to see then and is happening now, he was the mastermind behind it. And therefore, the single biggest virus, first of all, has to be William Samoei Ruto.
So you are saying...
So once we take him home and we reset this country, first of all, through constitutionalism, then now we can think about the rest. Because we must understand.
Can I ask you?
Yes.
Big mistake.
Can I ask you? Because you are saying that the virus that has been eating this country did not start eating this country 4 years ago,
yes,
in 2022.
Yes.
So you're saying that it started a long time ago,
yes,
in 1992. So what happened? Why did the 7 million decide to vote for Ruto in 2022?
Because one of the things that he played very well, he played with people's emotion. And you know, I am not afraid to say this because I did not vote for him. So I do not regret in the first place. All right? I did not regret because it takes an intelligent person to know a narcissist and a liar. And many of those who supported him then, right now are behaving as if they don't know what happened. And you know when I'm saying this, I know I'm putting so much in terms of my political future on the trenches, but it is okay because truth has to be truth. All right? So when you look at the virus and the things that he has done through, when you look through history, I mean, talk about the scandal at the Ministry of Agriculture, talk about the scandal at the Ministry of Education, talk about the scandals in Uhuru's government and how he came to defend them on media. All right? We can actually see a very serious consistency. Talk about the issues that have been happening, and we have seen them happen in this current government. And it is the same people who have seen all these things, yet they do not want to open their eyes and say, by the way, I support this man, but looking at history, there is something.
So how did Ruto work with people's emotions? So they didn't see.
He rode on the wave of empathy. By saying, anateswa, crying in church.
Isn't that what Sifuna is doing? Crying and saying that they have taken everything from him. That's what exactly they
But that is what has happened to Sifuna because he doesn't support government.
Yeah, but that also happened to Ruto.
But he's not crying about it, has he? Because he has said they have taken all these titles away. And now you people are going to give me
in every rally has been mentioned.
Of course, when you come and steal from me, or when you come and take something unjustly from me,
why is Sifuna crying? Why is Sifuna crying that things have been taken from him?
No, Sifuna is not crying because Sifuna all is just saying that.
Why is he saying?
What is crying?
Why is he saying?
For 8 good years, Baba entrusted me with this position.
Okay.
But the ones that have come, the ones that have made deals with Ruto, feel that because I'm not supporting Ruto, then I cannot be part of them.
So it is Baba. So it is Baba who gave him
the party is deviating from the ideologies that ODM was formed on. Yet,
what ideology?
I mean,
when you
talk about justice,
justice in ODM.
Listen,
justice and ODM
that is
sentence.
one of the ideologies that centers around ODM.
And during the entire 8 years that Sifuna was in ODM, there was justice.
I cannot confirm or deny.
That was justice.
I'm saying I cannot confirm or deny. But
how did
I'm talking about ODM. I'm not talking about Sifuna.
No, let me ask you.
Yes.
How did Sifuna become an ODM Secretary General?
Yeah. It was very simple. He was identified by Orengo. They went looking for him. He was ready. Raila entrusted him with the position, and that is how he became.
So that is the constitution of ODM.
That is how you became the constitution of ODM.
That is wrong. Number one, it was not Orengo. It was not Orengo.
Can I ask another question?
Last time we talked to you are a member of ODM. You have the ODM constitution.
Of course I do.
Do you know how someone is elected to become president? Is it through a coup or you are elected by somebody?
And do you know who was supposed to be Secretary General?
Because of a coup. You think Baba would have trusted him?
The problem with Linda Mwananchi Brigade is one.
Constitutionalism, there is an ODM constitution.
Yes.
And it says for you, my friend,
Yes.
Nanduga, you
Yes.
also had an NDC in the PLP.
Yes,
You had
yes.
an NDC in Wiper.
Yes.
And for you to become an SG or any other position in a party,
Yes.
you must be elected by delegates.
Yes.
Election. Free and fair.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me, Sifuna was elected by which delegates? When? Because everything is in the public domain. I remember Sifuna reading a speech and saying, we have decided to take this position by force.
And actually, let
Should
me
we
tell
play
my
the
brother.
video?
Wafula Buke was supposed to be the Secretary General of ODM.
Yes.
And there was a
And
problem
Ababu
with the
was-
delegates
Ababu
of
was the-
Western Province. And let me tell my brother, you see the problem with the problem I have with Sifuna is one. Sifuna is the problem with Linda Mwananchi is always one.
Just judging you for your own
Anytime you
words.
question Sifuna,
Yeah.
the Linda Mwananchi Brigade thinks you hate Sifuna. We don't hate Sifuna, we
We
love
don't.
him. But now my problem with Sifuna is one. Sifuna can't be
How do you
trusted.
love someone you have a problem with?
Yeah, it's just a
Like
matter
your
of
mother.
correction.
Like your mother. You cannot.
You cannot have a problem with your mother, but you love her. So, my problem with Sifuna is one. We love him.
Let me ask you,
You know about his mother.
Yeah.
If Sifuna was genuinely loved in ODM, there
Yes.
was an NDC the other day. Why was he not there to be elected by the delegates?
You see, the problem with my friend is that sometimes you can follow a political party without actually realizing what the political party stands for. These people are following Sifuna, but they don't know that there is a political problem which made Sifuna not to agree with those who are in Linda ground. There is always a political deal, which at the end of the day do not support Sifuna in that regard. And now, Sifuna in 2024 said, William Ruto has killed Gen Z, right? Sifuna was the Secretary General of ODM, which he said severally he don't agree with the terms and conditions and whatever they stand for today. If you are truthful to yourself as a politician and as the spokesperson of that political party whose principle do not in any way transcend with your principle, the best thing to do is to resign. Number two, after Raila's death, even before that, like you said, Peter Edwin, Sifuna also took part in writing the 10-point agenda.
Yes.
The same person who is saying, I don't trust Ruto, I don't trust the broad-based government, I don't trust this political coalition. Now you are again going back and taking part in writing that report, surely. At the end of the day, then we'll say he is a master of double standard when it comes to politics. Because if I don't believe in your ambition, I don't believe in your principle, I can't spare even a single of my minute to sit down, then draft something that's going to bind the two political parties together. Yes. So my brother is following Linda Mwananchi without actually realizing Linda Mwananchi has a section of ODM which believe that they were not considered in the political coalition between UDA and ODM. Had Sifuna been considered, today we won't be having anything called Linda Mwananchi. Today we won't be having all these dissenting voices in ODM questioning.
Let us go to the question of Uhuru Kenyatta. There is a question of Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta is, I think he was having a conversation with you guys today. He's putting together the coalition.
The dream coalition.
There was a meeting today. I think, I don't know whether it happened or it has not happened, but he wants to bring these guys together.
Yes.
I don't know why is Uhuru coming back to put things together?
Remember, Uhuru is the chairperson of Azimio.
Yeah.
And under his roles, he needs to unite us all together.
Yeah.
The united opposition, the Linda Mwananchi, I believe. Remember, even Pauline Njoroge, the likes of these other politicians in Linda Mwananchi. We all want to take Ruto home. So he needs to consolidate all these people. And remember, he's a seasoned politician as well. And he understands that without unity, we cannot take Ruto home. So we need to build up on a team that will take Ruto home. And that is why he has called up for this meeting to ensure that the likes of Kalonzo Musyoka, my party leader, Edwin Sifuna, the likes of Kibagendi, all these political players come together and come up with the one formidable force that will take William Ruto home. And that is how that is what we call coalition building. And remember on this talks, they have also said that they are going also to restructure that coalition. They'll change the name because we won't go with the Azimio name. We'll also bring about more leaders into this coalition because we want to win at the end of the day. We go to elections to win, whether by we gather all scatter none, and that is what we are going to be doing together.
But I have a few questions. So, at what point did Uhuru decide that realize that Ruto is a bad man that shouldn't be close to power? Because I remember they were a dynamic duo in 2013. What do you think happened?
If you remember very well, immediately Uhuru won in 2017. William Ruto was globetrotting around Kenya, campaigning. Instead of assisting Uhuru in service delivery, in delivering what they had promised Kenyans in their manifesto. And this is someone who they won the elections together with under their manifesto, their Big Four agenda. And Uhuru came out and said that this person, we were with him talking about our manifesto, but what he's doing today, he's riding across the country, selling his own agenda, saying he's going to be president, and we have not even delivered for the people. So this is one of the reasons Uhuru saw it prudent that he cannot support William Ruto, and that's where the genesis of their disagreements came about. Remember, William Ruto was also involved in corruption, the Arora and Kimwarer, and I remember Uhuru saying that it's saying in Kikuyu that 3 billion for money meant for building for of dams. William Ruto has swindled all that money. So these are the issues.
He was telling who?
He was telling people he was in a meeting, and he was saying that.
So he's still president.
Yes, he was still president, and he's saying that William Ruto is stealing people's money, he's being involved in corruption and political dealings, and these are the reasons as to why William Ruto disagreed with Uhuru.
I am confused.
Yes.
So Uhuru Kenyatta is the president.
Yes.
But he's going to tell people in a rally that Ruto is stealing money.
Yes.
So that people can do what?
You know, one thing, Jagero, is that Uhuru has been
because I can add an addendum to that. Uhuru was the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Uhuru is the head of government. Uhuru and the head of government, it means that EACC is basically at his beck and call. He can actually, do something about it. So when he's saying that Ruto is stealing money, 3 billion from, and he was just scot-free, but he's going to complain to the people.
The reality in Kenyan politics and in our government today, there's some people who cannot be arrested. Yes.
But we have a constitution.
We have a constitution.
So it means that even your Kalonzo will not be able to arrest people that are stealing from the government.
He will.
It's only him who can.
He can arrest.
He's the only one.
But at that time, William Ruto had mobilized a lot of people around him.
No.
To a point that if he was arrested.
Mr. Peter, please. You're telling me that in this country, there are people you cannot arrest.
Yes.
It therefore follows that there are people Kalonzo also cannot arrest.
No, Kalonzo can arrest people, and he will.
Where is the bat coming from?
Because let me tell you something, Jagero. There's some people, if you arrest them, especially at that time, there will be a lot of disorder in the country.
So Kalenjins were going to riot in the streets?
Yes, they would have done that.
Have you ever seen Kalenjins rioting?
In 2007, it happened.
Come on.
Yes.
They don't riot.
It's for example.
That was not a riot. That was a civil war.
Duale has called for the arrest of Gachagua. Why is the government arresting Gachagua?
No. But Duale is not the president.
But why do you think William Ruto cannot arrest Gachagua?
Why would he arrest Gachagua? What has he done?
They have alleged that he should be arrested because of some remarks that he made somewhere. So
where? Why should he? What remarks? But he's not stolen 3 billion. I mean,
you see, Jagero.
Yeah.
You said something interesting about why Uhuru never arrested William Ruto while he was the president. First, we must understand that the political marriage between Uhuru and Ruto was not organic. These are just people who had cases at the ICC, and at the same time, the culture of Kenyans, the sympathy issue. And apart from that, like I said, and I've been always saying, the politics of this country is all about tribal arithmetics. Uhuru Kenyatta wanted to be the president, and he was just looking for somebody they can unite together so that they can easily win and defeat
and isn't that not my point?
Yeah,
that is the point, that when he's coming around right now to try to say that, look, this is a thief that should go home, we have to go back to 2013. Who was Ruto then?
Yeah, because at that time Ruto was just a mayor, Eldoret North MP. And two, as we have already
been saying, he was not corrupt.
He was corrupt, and they knew, because before that he was suspended as the cabinet minister.
So the chairman of Azimio have suddenly realized that now Ruto is corrupt, that he needs to go home.
No.
So who is then fooling who? Is it Uhuru Kenyatta or it is Ruto that is fooling us?
The problem with Uhuru Kenyatta about Ruto is one. Uhuru Kenyatta hasn't healed from the fact that he was defeated. His project was defeated by President Ruto. And that is actually what is now coming to terms that should he mess again with the 2027 election, he's going into political limbo. So he's trying so hard because, like I told you, all these politicians are just dealers. They're trying to be in government so that they can control the businesses, they can control everything happening. But now the problem will come when former President Uhuru Kenyatta will publicly endorse Kalonzo Musyoka or any other candidate. Because at the same time, President Ruto will decampaign them easily. Ruto will just come and say, oh, again, it is Hustler and Dynasty. They want to control the resources of this country again and all manner of that. But a situation whereby President Uhuru Kenyatta at that time came and told us, we are losing 2 billion shilling on a daily basis. Should we have a strong judiciary in this country? Then he's supposed to be in jail. Because you are the executive head of the country. If you know the exact number or the exact amount we are losing on a daily basis, then it means you even know the ministries where they are coming from. And you know exactly who is stealing that money. If they talk about the Aurora and Kimwarer, he was the president at that time. He is aware a total sum of 3 billion, has been stolen from the projects fund. Then he's supposed to be presented to the court to answer these questions. Because he's the executive head of a government losing money meant for the project, losing 2 billion shilling on a daily basis, and is now coming us. So what do you want? You see, sometimes we must ask ourselves, what was the intention of Uhuru Kenyatta at that time? If he was the president, then he was in a position to either sack the cabinet secretary involved in the scandal and to also sit down with this deputy at that time, President Ruto now, at least to tell him, I am aware you have stolen 3 billion shilling.
Because I'm just wondering.
Yes.
Everything that the vice president should have been doing then,
yes,
that is his then His Excellency,
yes,
the president, the deputy president, Mr. Ruto, everything that he was doing then was supposed to have been delegated to him by the president.
Yes.
So how did Ruto find himself with 3 billion in his pocket without delegation?
That's another question, and
I can explain that. Yes, I can explain that. When they were good together as brothers in the first term, many of the things that happened, they defended each other. But when it came to their second term, having seen the person of who Ruto is, Uhuru realized that I actually need an olive branch to actually help me run government. Because in as much as we agreed to share this government 50-50, because we must understand that also happens in governments, that there are those agreements, and there is a portion that Ruto was controlling in government, same as Uhuru. So when Uhuru realized the virus in his cabinet, in his team, that is now when he extended an olive branch, and that is why Ruto would cry that his office is not funded. And that is true because he realized if all these scandals and all this money this guy has been stealing, then why is the need of funding his office? Well, I do not want to speak much about what Uhuru and Ruto did, because again, the two of them really messed up this economy, because that is the reality that we must all accept. And when you look at all these things, I've kept saying that the only way we can deal with corruption and we can actually build a progressive nation is through constitutionalism, to ensure that whether it is money that is coming through consolidated funds and the approval that are coming from parliament, these are things that are very clear. Whether it is someone who has done something, probably in the ministry or whatever, the right institutions that are actually mandated, for example, EACC, can actually follow up on that corrupt person, recover our resources. Because when you look at it, for example, EACC has become a washing machine in terms of every person passes through there, They have spent at least 19 billion for now. Yet what they have recovered is at least 9 point something. All right. So at the end of the day, institutions have not been able to implement what they have said, referring to what Professor Ndungu said. And there's also another guy who mentioned the same thing. And that is why we come to the preamble of the Constitution, that first of all, the Constitution must be implemented. And that is the only way that this country changes moving forward, because everybody is equal under the law. It does not matter whether you're deputy president, whether you're cabinet minister, or whoever. And the problem that we have as young people, many times you are called to look at what our constitution says, and probably the platforms that it provides for us, because there was a reason that our constitution was promulgated in the year 2010, so that you can actually move forward as a progressive country, in line also with what we had with Vision 2030. Yeah, to keep going around beating the bush, saying our kingpins and whoever, money stolen by our kingpins, we cannot put them to account under the constitution, and we keep blaming everyone. So that is why I say the biggest virus has to be William Samoei Ruto. He has to go, and whoever comes, because even look at all the candidates who want to be president, none of them talks about corruption. None of them.
So right now it is Ruto that is not allowing EACC to work.
Of course.
And,
that is known.
And how about Uhuru's 2 terms? Who was not allowing EACC to work? Ruto. Uhuru.
I shouldn't say that in camera, but among the ministries or the departments that were under Ruto, EACC was one of them. So I'll leave it at that. I will not mention more than that. That is a non-fact.
I have another question for you.
Prof was here the other day, and he mentioned something similar to that. That is a non-fact that probably doesn't go out there. And that is why when he came into office, did you realize what he did? ODPP and the EACC dropped very many cases that revolved around his inner circle, right? So that is the reality that we need to look at. That first of all, he's the one overrunning the institutions, and they are not able to carry their mandate constitutionally, because we must agree.
But how long has the EACC been in existence?
Is it? It was promulgated in 2011, I think, if I'm very correct, under the new constitution. All right. And in those 14 or 15 years,
Ruto was not the president, right?
Yes.
So why was it not doing its job?
2010. I want us to look at it. 2010, 2011, come 2013, after 2012, who comes into power and who has been in power ever since until now? No, it is the same person who is curtailing these institutions. And I have said here in this platform that for us to move forward as a progressive country, the person who is at the top, if there is political goodwill, he wants to combat corruption.
We also know for a fact that the judiciary is corrupt, right?
Yes.
So that is also Ruto.
I mean, how many times have they been threatened na mambo ni matatu? Dagero, would you lose your life and lose your family because you are serving in the judiciary?
And the port corruption is Ruto, and the immigration is Ruto.
Yes. Because he overruns all the institutions.
It's okay. Let me ask you a good question.
I want you to remember one thing that he said. When Ruto was being asked, put into task to explain what was happening, there's one thing he said. The buck stops with the president.
Do you think
so? It is very clear.
You see the problem.
And you see our constitution, when our constitution was promulgated, it was trying to take the power away from the central. And decentralize it so that every institution can actually do that. But the same president who was opposing that constitution, there is no way he can implement it.
Let me go to Nyandogo. Nyandogo, yes. What do you think? Because what he's saying is that Ruto is the reason why we have a corruption in this country. So he's saying that Ruto is the one who has made the EACC not to do its work. He's saying that Ruto is the only one who is influencing the corruption at the immigration, the ports, and in government parastatals, everywhere else. So Ruto is like a ward.
You see, and I'll say this to my brother Miruka. If we just keep on blaming Ruto without facts and blaming Ruto without bringing a solution, we might end up replacing Ruto with another Ruto. Because before we blame Ruto on the problems at the EACC, we must first ask ourselves, who was the then Director General dealing with things to do with corruption investigation? It was Professor P.L. Lumumba. And why was Professor P.L. Lumumba removed from the office? It was a political question because he was fighting the real corruption. The problem with the institutions that are supposed to fight corruption is that we don't have an independent judiciary and an independent parliament as also an organ of the government in this country. Have a look at the parliament where laws are being made. It is just a situation whereby if you are a member of an opposition political party, they believe that they must resist the government. If you are elected on a UDA ticket, you believe when the cabinet minister in that government has stolen even 11 billion, then you must just protect them. The problem we have with the institutions that are supposed to investigate corruption cases is that judiciary is not independent. Look at the Constitution of Kenya, the way it is designed. How comes a president is also recommending judges for promotion? If today I'm a judge and you as a President Jagero, you recommend me to the Court of Appeal, it is very difficult to go against you. And therefore we should work on our constitution again to ensure the judiciary and parliament as organs of the government in place. They must also be so independent to an extent, even if you're the deputy president, you can be dragged to court and be sentenced for life if you mess up with the future of the republic and the Kenyans. So that is my view. Ruto is not the problem we have. We had the problem and corruption cases while Kibaki was the president. We had the problems when Uhuru Kenyatta was the president. So I'll just request Kenyans and recommend that we go back to the constitution and ensure that all these institutions dealing with corruption and investigation, they must be fully independent. And it starts with our parliament. If parliament, we can have a good president, but if parliament is made up of people who are there for their personal benefit instead of the people's benefit, then still we can replace Ruto, and that good person who is going to be the president can as well have the same problem we are facing as a country.
Okay, Mr. Peter, there is something that you wanted to read. You know,
Yes.
not forgotten.
I was going to this point. There was something I wanted to read for him here. He was talking about Matiang'i as his deputy candidate, to deputize Sifuna, and I was trying to give him a reason that we judge you by your own record. For Matiang'i, I want to read something for you that happened, because you said that Matiang'i stands for constitutionalism and all that. On 31st January 2018, at the height of the NASA demonstrations, Matiang'i, the CS Interior Matiang'i, says that Citizen TV, KTN News and NTV should remain shut until probe on possible incitement is completed amid a public uproar. These are the same things that we are persecuting William Ruto for. Why should we have someone who is disregarding the rule of law, then putting him in leadership on the same things that we want William Ruto to go home for? Why so? Something else, Matiang'i has also been banning demonstrations. Same things we are persecuting William Ruto for. I want you to look at Kalonzo Musyoka. For the time he was in leadership, Kalonzo Musyoka was not involved in corruption. If you are to judge leaders by what they have stood for over time, Kalonzo is going to be a perfect example. Okay, look at for example, look at Sifuna. Sifuna has been good in parliament, I agree, and that is why we are saying that Sifuna can be good as a deputy for Kalonzo. But if you look at Matiang'i is not good enough to become to be on the top leadership of our country.
All right.
Yes.
All right, people of the internet, it's been good. I want us to stop here. It's been a very balanced one. The guy is saying that you guys are attacking him, but I don't know why people of Linda Mwananchi keep saying that they are being attacked left, right, and center. Nobody's attacking you. Chill. We are just discussing the politics of our country and figuring out where are we going, which turn are we taking, which bend are we taking, at what crossroad are we. So I think that is what is going on at the moment. I want to thank Mr. Peter,
Yes.
who has joined me today. I want to wish you well with Wiper.
By the way, there's something I never mentioned to you.
Okay.
When we were in Ethiopia with the Bwana Fidel Castro,
Okay.
we assessed, by the way, the housing model in Ethiopia.
The housing model.
Interestingly, in Ethiopia, the housing model, the government finances 40%. Then the rest is for you to pay. In contrast with Kenya, where you are taxed, and at the end of the day, they are still going to sell the houses to you. So it was a great experience, and I think we need improvement in our country if we contextualize on such things.
Is that something
systems are working?
Is that something that Kalonzo is going to do? Because we are waiting for what you're going to do.
Yes, we are going. This is part of our benchmarking, and we are going to be presenting our manifesto to you very soon.
Fair enough, Mr. Meruka. Your last words.
This guy keeps saying that Kalonzo doesn't have any corruption cases, and that saddens me, because you just need to Google the internet and realize that he has had very many issues to do with lands and acquiring of illegal lands.
Which one? Substantially.
An example, the Yatta land.
Yes.
He's,
Over
it's
200.
His. It's
over
his.
You asked a question, I'm responding.
Okay.
Will you give me time?
Okay.
Yes. Again, we have the Machakos land claims that was there. We also have the foundation inquiries in terms of the foundation that he runs. You know, Kalonzo runs a foundation. And these are some of the claims that probably have not come to light as they should, but he has corruption cases. You know,
what do you mean by corruption cases?
I mean, he has been involved in things to do with corruption.
And at what point is this one? These corruption cases, how did they end? Are they still
did
pending?
not progress. To a greater extent, I don't know why.
Was he convicted or tell us?
No.
What is this Yatta land? You seem to know about this Yatta land, right?
I've been to his Yatta land.
Okay, how big is
It was
it?
just political propaganda, but no one has gone to court.
How big is it?
It's I think 200 acres.
No, 600 acres.
Yes.
200 to 600.
Okay. Whether it's even 10 acres or whatever, no one is in the court complaining that he or she has been.
He bought it.
Yes. So he bought it with his own money, and he, by the way, he even came on record with the payment details of when he purchased that land. Yes. So I'm waiting.
Anyway, your last words.
I'm waiting for you to substantiate.
I have been a very neutral person, and until I realized that sometimes we just have to speak facts as they are, without meandering through the corners.
Told you.
Yes, and that has costed me quite a lot in terms of, my ambition to be the chairperson of the National Youth Council.
Okay.
So I realized after the show last week on Sunday, in the whole of Kibra, I was the only serious candidate. But when ODM Uhuru heard about this and the necessary groups, they actually ensured that in my ward, there is 6 ODM delegates to compete with me. That, notwithstanding, it doesn't bother me because I come from very many places.
It seems to bother you.
No, it doesn't bother me because I come from very many places. I mean, I have been with the people on the ground. They know the kind of support they can give me. And lastly, I'm also a software engineer. So should they think of anything malicious, we will tell them. They will understand why. Let me not put this unless I'm accused and I do not have the evidence for or a way of defending myself. But I think what we need to look at as the young people of Kenya, as a country, let us read our history and understand it completely. Because history is very important. It is going to inform us. Why is it that many of those who supported Ruto in 2022 currently actually hate him the most? Simply because there are things that you have done wrong. Especially when you say kumira, because you want to punish a certain person, because you want to do this. But we must look at the record and what it speaks about a particular individual. Because if they do not stand on constitutionalism and integrity and of all things, the fear of God, because we can actually see those who fear God and those who pretend to fear God, that there's no way we're going to get a very good candidate. But even as we do that, whoever we elect in 2027 will genuinely be a reflection of who we are as a country. It's either we deserve Ruto because we are ineptly corrupt, and that is something we must all agree, that we ineptly corrupt as a country. That is why we choose fellow corrupt people. But if you have people who stand for integrity, people who stand for the constitution, then we would open our eyes and look at beyond the slogans, beyond what this person stands for. What is true? Because right now I can bring up to you so many promises by President William Ruto that he has not done. For example, he had promised us that whoever saves in this country, the government will give them an equal amount of that saving. That is not something that has happened. I can go on and on and on to lay down all the lies that he has spewed to us. Yet, still people will clap for him and say two-term, simply because there is a benefit you're getting from government. But what you don't understand, the majority of people are suffering in this country because they do not have a level playing field. And our constitution actually calls us to justice, to fight for the people who cannot. If you're benefiting from government, fine, you can defend it with all your life. But if you actually go beyond there in your shall go and see how those people are suffering, then you would change your mind. And that is what I'm calling all the young people and this country to actually look at and make a sober decision. Thank you very much.
Are you still in ODM? This one, he was in Are you a member of ODM?
No, he's going to lead Mwananchi.
There's some questions that you don't answer.
Okay.
So all this work I've been doing here is because I'm in ODM.
No, I'm just asking. Last we were with you, you are a member of ODM.
Yeah, when is that? When is that?
We were with him about 1 month ago. He was telling me I'm a member of ODM. Are you still a member?
What did I say in this show?
No, you answer me. Are you still a member of ODM?
Linda Mwananchi is not a political party.
Who is the party leader of ODM?
I think that the problem that we are having in this country is basically that if 1 month ago he was telling you that he's an ODM, but now he has changed tune and he's supporting.
And those are the voters of Sifuna.
Those are the voters.
Today they are supporting Maraga. The other day they are supporting Okiya Utata. The other day they are supporting Morara Kebaso.
How can this guy wait for the show to end and then
a very interesting story.
A very interesting story that you actually, because that is the point, right?
The same
and when they all tell you guys that and you guys get pissed off that somehow somebody, but then you told him that you are a member of ODM 1 month ago, but now you've changed to Linda Mwananchi.
Actually, I also told him they're taking advantage of Sifuna's fame.
Yes.
Can I tell
Tomorrow,
you
should Nyanduga come to fame,
ODM.
they'll be looking for me. If it's Miruka, then people will be looking for you.
Jagger, I've been in this podcast, I think this is my 6th time. Before these 2 times, the last 2 times that I've come here, what was on my stand in terms of where I belong?
The last time you were full in Linda, the day before, the second last time, you were actually fighting with Adrian. You remember? You are fighting with Adrian about the fact that Linda Mwananchi are arrogant people that do not allow people to express themselves and do not welcome people. That's what you said to Adrian, right?
Jagero, I only said I have been a very neutral person looking at both sides in terms of both government.
But why were you fighting with Adrian? You don't remember?
I told Adrian that I had signed up to be a volunteer in terms of their tech team. But they had not responded. So that is why I told him, because he's in the NEC team, they should actually check on that, because there are many young people probably who are doing the
Linda
same.
Linda Mwananchi has a NEC team.
A leadership team, of course.
NEC
There
is
is
you have a full house.
There is
Wait, Peter, can you go slow down?
NEC is a part of a structure of a political party.
Yes.
Is Linda Mwananchi a
and of course,
party?
if you have NEC, it
No,
means you have a full house.
I think give it to the guy. It's Adrian who actually came up with that term, not him.
Yes.
Actually, but then you are old enough to know that NECs do not operate in movements.
In the movements,
we understand there is a leadership structure as of now in terms of
in Linda Mwananchi.
In terms of the why do I keep forgetting this name? No, the leaders who are there.
Principals.
The principals who are there, because again, we must understand everything rises and falls on leadership. So those principles, there is something they have in common. By the way, I should tell you, Jagero, I have not been called by any principal in Linda. I do not have direct access to any of them. This is just my political belief. This is just my political conviction why I need to support Linda Mwananchi. And if they call me, fine. If they don't, I still believe in my ideology, because this is what I stand for. All right? So when others are claiming, because, for him, he's in the leadership team of Wiper. That is why he defends it with all his life. I don't know for you, my brother, but for him, I know. And where I stand is...
Can you ask him where he belongs?
I don't know. Jakera, I don't know why you are laughing.
Nyanduga, by the way. Yes. Abu, by the way. I'm also curious.
Nyanduga is a Sangwenya.
Based on the last conversation. By the way, the last conversation we had with Nyanduga. Based on that, I don't want to hear.
You was in ODM?
No, I want to mention. But where are you currently?
Currently, I'm a member of People's Liberation Party.
Okay, yes.
I'm a registered member. If you go to their list, Liberation Party.
Not reconnaissance.
Not reconnaissance. This is Honorable Martha Karua's party. I'm a registered member in that party. Yeah, that is true. I mean, I hold the view that...
I also knew that. That is why I wanted to clarify.
And it's been
I was hoping
but you see, if I'm a member of a political party, I can't just follow them blindly. And by the way, if I'm a member of PLP, if they have a problem, I'll tell them, this is the problem, let us fix it. Like
when did you become a member?
You see, I registered as a member of PLP last year in the month of November. Yes.
And Martha Karou was the presidential candidate then.
Is still.
She's still the presidential candidate.
So are you supporting Martha Karou for
Not
president?
really.
No, he's supporting
That is why I say. That is why I say.
This is a very confused
No, that's you saying.
This is my reasoning. You see,
Yes.
I can
Please
be a
allow
mem-
Nyanduga to
Yes.
defend himself.
If I'm a member of
Even
People's
Fidel is saying
Liberation
this guy
Party
is lost.
and I believe our political leader or the party leader is not meritorious to win election as a presidential candidate, I'll just tell them the truth. That as currently constituted, our party doesn't have that strong regional and national grassroots mobilization structure.
Correct.
To allow us win election. So what do? I recommend to them, as a member of this party, as a bona fide member of this party, let us support another candidate within the United Opposition outfit who can take President William Ruto home.
Fair enough.
Yes.
So thank you very much,
The
people
good
of the
thing
internet.
about our democracy is that it actually allows us to have different views.
Of course.
But don't be lost, like Fidel is saying. And Fidel has been on the comment section. This guy.
Fidel is not the person you go to find a way.
Of course. And you see,
Fidel is also
bashing him more than he's bashing me.
Fidel, one thing about Fidel, he's also a confused fella. Today he's in Jim Wajigi, today he's in Jutam, the other day he's in Uhuru. Fidel, you should do. Well, Fidel, sometimes I feel like slapping you.
Fidel is not the guy
We
to
have slapped
tell.
you on online.
Yes, Fidel is not the guy to tell people to find the way. Because he's in the desert. People of the internet, thank you very much. I want to thank Mr. Frank, who has been on the deck and on the cameras. Thank you very much, people of the internet, for coming together with us today. I really enjoyed it. I want to thank Nyanduga. I want to thank Mr. Miruka. And I want to thank, Edwin here. And people of the internet, another one. Thank you and bye for now. All right, people of the internet, I hope that you're enjoying this episode very much. And I just had a break to tell you about my new book. Everybody says that there is no job, and that is true. Also, that was me 10 years ago. The problem is that everybody is trying to get a job in their town, in their city, in their marketplace. They ask friends for jobs, mothers call uncles, uncles call brothers, but there are no jobs. Let me tell you what no one is telling you. Jobs migrated online. What I actually mean is there are many, many jobs around the world and there is no one to do them except you. I work for Americans myself. I work for Europeans. I work for the Chinese. I work for the Australians. I work for the Canadians. And so, because I have done so much for myself, I said to myself, you know what? I should compile what I've been doing for the last 15 years. So in 2024, I wrote a digital book called Goldmine 18 Hustles for Africans. And then in 2025, AI came. People say AI is taking away our jobs. And for me, I'm going to say false. There are actually AI jobs. Jobs are not being taken by AI, but there are new jobs online that are there because of AI. Now, mimi ni nani? I created more jobs. And for now, in my new book, we have 25 online and offline jobs that you can leverage on if you do not have a job. So in this powerful volume 2, I share 25 new actionable online hustles specifically researched and tailored for Africans. My new book provides clear step-by-step guidance drawing from my extensive experience and research, including the mistakes I've made and lessons I've learned over the 15 years that I have worked online. So what can you do online? You can become an executive assistant for busy folks in Europe, America, Canada. Paid for tasks like watching videos and taking online surveys. Okay, you can build a lot of things. Build a business as a virtual assistant, start an e-commerce shop without capital, be an affiliate marketer, or you can also become actually an English tutor and tens of AI jobs. If you have a job, that is fine. But I also know that you can buy this book for that brother, for that sister, for that mother, for that cousin, for that husband who is watching Netflix all day at home. Buy it for your friend who is always asking for cash. You know that friend. Now, all the information is on the description below. You can also inbox me, you can WhatsApp me, or go to my website, which is odworjigero.co.ke.